A gang of misfits and dope addicts are here.
Well, nowhere on my list here of on this day. I mean, there are many choices on this day list. It's one of the Kingston trios.
Wow.
It's Ray Collins from the Mothers of Invention's birthday. The Tokens.
Oh, that
The Lion Sleeps Tonight.
That would have been nice.
Now, now Pete Moore from The Miracles. You know, Tears of a Clown. We could have played the updated version. Who did that? Tears of a Clown, the ska version.
English Beat?
English Beat, yeah. Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
Oh, we could have done that.
Yeah.
No.
One of the guys in Paul Revere and the Raiders is having a birthday today.
I doubt
He's
we'd
still
have done that.
the Buckinghams. Tom Schenkel from the Buckinghams. Big hit song, kind of a drag from the When Your Baby Don't Love You. It's Justin Chancellor's birthday today. Bass player for Tool.
Tool?
We nearly did that. And we might do it for the potty break song.
It's Matt Sorum's birthday today, Gina.
Well, we talked about Matt.
Drums for Guns N' Roses, but nowhere.
We determined because he was the temporary drummer that he didn't deserve.
Backup drummer.
Yes.
But nowhere on my list do I see anything.
Well, Bill, it's not always about celebrating a birthday.
It's true. On this day.
In 2007, heavy metal lead singer of Quiet Riot, Kevin Dubrow, overdosed at the age of 53.
Way to go, Kevin. Nicely done.
Came in as a cliche and left as a cliche.
And our friend Marie Franco said, I cleaned Kevin Dubrow's teeth when I was a dental hygienist in Las Vegas.
What?
So now, Gina, how old were you when that song came out?
Oh, gosh. What year was that?
I don't know. I don't have any idea.
It was 80, wasn't it?
Yeah, 83.
So you were about how old do you think?
83, I would have been like 12.
Did you puzzle over the spelling of?
You really going to go there?
Well, I just wondered.
No.
You didn't. But you didn't say. Why did they spell it C-U-M? Come on, feel the noise.
I thought they were just not educated.
Is that what you thought?
You know, all kinds of bands spell things funny. No, it didn't. It did not. I didn't give it a second.
When did it dawn on you? I'm just wondering. Because I was of an age where I went,
yeah, in
well, that's juvenile.
Yeah, you weren't 12.
No, I looked at it and I went, well, that's juvenile.
Yeah.
They're naughty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's dead now, if that makes you feel any better.
Way to go, Dubrow. I think at the time I went, way to go, Dubrow. Nicely done, buddy.
But that was one of those MTV videos that I would sit around and wait for, maybe it'll be the next one. Maybe it'll be the next one.
Because On Demand was certainly not a thing.
No.
It was. You can see why parents might have said these people are corrupting our children.
Yeah, but it's the same thing as I watched the movie Grease 50 times when I was a kid.
And didn't have any idea what was going on.
About any of it.
Yeah.
So anytime I sort of get worried with my kids with, maybe they shouldn't, I think it's going over their head anyway. They don't know what this is.
My first concert was the Village People.
Yeah.
Had no idea.
No idea.
Thank you.
I was in junior high.
Thank you for keeping our children stupid.
Yeah, I went back and I told my mom, I can't believe you let me watch that.
And what did she say? I didn't know what it was about. I wasn't paying any attention.
Because it's filthy. It's not just one thing. It's filthy all the way through.
Sure.
But conversely, our seminary teachers were telling us that Ozzy Osbourne was the Antichrist and was going to destroy us. A man who could not operate a trash compactor. All right?
Yeah.
It was fun. I was actually listening to an interview with Ozzy over the weekend. And
why?
It was on, because he's amusing.
It was on.
And the guy that was interviewing him said, so Ozzy, you're really into working out these days.
Is he?
Yeah, apparently he's got a gym in his house, and
the gym.
He loves working out. But he said the only thing I don't like about the gym is I'm worried I'm missing something going on in another part of the house. Like everybody's in the kitchen and I'm in the gym, so I'll stop working out to go. What's going on in the kitchen? No, nothing's going on, Ozzy. You can go back to the gym. Okay, I'll go back.
Go back to the gym, Ozzy.
Yeah.
Well,
we built the gym so you'd leave us alone.
All right, I guess we ought to officially begin the program. It's only a 3-day work week. Now, of course, on only 2 days in the studio, We'll be here today and tomorrow, and then Wednesday we'll be on location at Teleperformance out in West Valley. The food for the food bank. I'm going to make a Costco run today or tomorrow and buy lots of stuff, and I want you all to do that too, okay? And then come see us on Wednesday. But we'll officially begin the program in just a couple seconds. Check-ins, 877-602-9696. Check in with the Radio from Hell show and tell us, in 3 words or less, how do you measure success? What 3 words would measure success?
All right.
All right.
Okay, we'll get to that coming up after these, along with some check-ins and big boy news and all that stuff on the way. Sports with Amy Donaldson, all happening. Brooklinen.com. I slept in this morning.
Oh.
You got used to it over the weekend, sleeping in your comfy sheets.
It's as much as I love these sheets, they could be bad for you because they're so comfortable. All you think about is sleeping.
Danger.
All the time. You're going to bed early. You're sleeping in late because they're so comfortable. Buttery smooth. Over 500,000 happy sleepers and counting. 30,000 5-star reviews, more than any other online bedding company. Go to their website and take a look at how the sheets are made. That's what it's all about. You're going to get luxury seats without the luxury markup. My Brooklinen sheets are the best, most comfortable sheets I've slept on, and now it's time for you to give them a try. They're giving you an exclusive offer just for our listeners. Get $20 off and free shipping when you use the promo code Jackson at brooklinen.com. My last name, Jackson, Jackson. Brooklinen is so confident in their product, all their sheets and comforters and towels, they come with a lifetime warranty. The only way to get $20 off and free shipping is to use the promo code Jackson at brooklinen.com. That's BROOKLINEN.com, and the promo code Jackson. These really are the best sheets ever.
X96, I'm Corey O'Brien. Tonight at 9, I will be hosting a full hour of new music.
God. Spell it with me now. G-O-D. Like you wouldn't know that already. Anyway, we'll use the word God in a bit of conversation between our 2 Utah buddies, Levar and LeGrande. The boys are at Lagoon attending LeGrande Ardun's family reunion. Again, the word is God.
Glad you could come to Lagoon for my family reunion, Levar.
Well, it's nice of you to invite me, LeGrande. I don't have no family of my own. Come to think of it, I don't have a last name. The Dunn clan sure is numerous, though.
Well, it's fine old polygamous stock, Levar.
Your granddad had more than one wife?
10. That ain't nothing. My actual dad, he had 3 wives, too.
Well, how come you never had more than one wife?
Well, I tried, believe me, I tried. I wanted to marry more girls than Midge, but I just couldn't seem to interest none of them. Besides, Midge said she wasn't really for it. Said there wasn't enough man in me to go around, whatever that means.
Hey, listen, which ride you want to go on before the kids find us again?
Well, let's go on the sky ride from the north end of the park so as we can look down to Bountiful. I want to see if I can see the new temple up on the hill there.
You can see it for a long ways. I was driving down from Ogden, up there cruising for stuff at the DI. You know, that's a really good DI up there. Anywho, you can see that Bountiful temple from Cherry Hill on the old highway, but then you lose sight of it when you drop down here by Lagoon.
Well, I've actually drove up to it. Drove around that temple and such.
And how'd you get there?
Just drove down I-15 and then got off at the Bountiful exit and then headed east.
Just got off at the main Bountiful exit, huh?
Yep. Hey, you know what I need right now?
What's that?
Need me a slush puppy. It's god-awful hot out of here all of a sudden.
Sure has. And nothing will cool you off like a slush puppy.
They got all the flavors?
Yep, they got the blue, the red flavor, the green flavor, and the most cooling flavor of them all. Yeller.
Got 'em all, huh?
Got 'em all.
My little daughter, who is 4, she she takes amusement in her father's flatulence. You know,
Is this a daily occurrence?
oh God, yes. You know, and I use the dumb old dad jokes of, you know, it's a farting or it's a barking spider.
Barking spider.
And she'll always go, "It's not a barking spider, Dad. That's a foding spider."
My dad
Foding
always
spider.
my dad always said it was a buck snort.
Bucks. Oh, what the or you know, or sometimes I'll say that bear's been following us around, or did somebody step on a duck?
Yeah.
Is the other one. Yeah.
Hear that? Buck snort.
Yeah. So, she likes the duck one too. But she also is occasionally flatulent. And I was lying on her bed with her, reading her a story, as I do fairly often, before she went to bed, and she just ripped.
She ripped a good one, huh?
Just ripped one. And
Daddy's little girl.
Yeah. And I
So
said,
like us.
I
learned
said-
it from watching you.
I said, honey, that was
Did you high five her?
High five.
that was a loud one. And she said, it sounded like a door closing.
She
And I
means,
said-
she means like the creak of the door.
And I said it did kind of, and she said, a door with rusty hinges. Ouch! I just thought that was.
She's creative.
I thought that was the best.
You know, our children are learning from you.
So now it's just, you know, hey, did somebody close a door with rusty hinges?
Somebody oil those hinges.
I don't. I just thought that was the best. A door.
Get
with
some
a
3-in-1
rusty
oil on those hinges.
So that was it. It's just one of those. Kids say the darndest
They sure
things.
do.
You know.
Well, I don't know. We may not have to.
Yeah, nobody's listening, apparently. Nobody's going to check in at 877-602-9696. You know, we're not offering any prize. This is a true test.
If you just want to check in, the prize is talking to us on the radio.
Yeah.
That's the prize.
It's to let us know if we have to really do anything today. 877-602-9696. Check in with the Radio from Hell show and let us know in 3 words or less, how do you measure success?
And it's brought to you by...
This is the beginning of the show.
Yeah. We did it on Friday. We sent Nick to the Del Taco for the epic burrito, the triple meat burrito.
And it was. What were the triple meats in the burrito?
Well, that's the grilled carne asada,
Good, yeah.
chicken, and crispy bacon.
Yeah.
It was an epic burrito. Participation may vary.
Well, the one up here on 4 South.
But they're open all night and they have it.
Is Nick here?
No.
Oh, I was going to have him go get another one. All right. The moon is 84.8% of full. It will be a full moon on Thanksgiving. The moon will rise today at 3:33 p.m., today being Monday. It's the 19th day of November in the year of our Lord, 2018, and this is North America's most taciturn radio broadcast. It's the Radio from Hell show, starring the Lords of Morning Radio. We are the Sons of Soros, Kerry Jackson, Bill Allred, and Gina Barberi. The senior executive producer of the Radio from Hell show is Richard Stedman. Dylan Allred, no relation to this guy, is producing video for the show. You can see it at x96.com/live. And who is helping today?
Cynthia.
Cynthia.
I guess Nick had to go to the hospital this week.
Is he okay?
Is it his tummy stuff?
No, he's got falling down disease.
No, he's
he?
got tummy stuff.
Stomach stuff.
Tummy stuff? Yeah.
Hope you feel better, Nick.
Yeah, Nick's your buddy, Nick's your pal in the hospital. We're happy to have Cynthia here, though. Now, check-ins brought to you by?
The Let It Snow event. Now through December 15th, you can lease or purchase a vehicle from Katrubis Volkswagen, and it snows 6 inches or more on Christmas Day. Katrubis will make your payments for a year. Wow.
Whew.
Look at that.
Whew.
All right.
Well, there's Adam. He's not going to let us down. Adam has called to check in with the Radio from Hell show.
All right, let's begin with Adam then.
Adam?
Hi, Adam.
Thanks for letting me listen, and Geek Show says, hey.
Hey.
Adam, you're a stalwart, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah. Adam, 3 words or less, how do you measure success?
I've irritated Bill.
I do the same thing, Adam.
Gina is the most successful woman on the planet by that measure.
Exactly.
Yeah. How do you... Well, Adam, have you irritated me in the past?
No. I don't think so.
You
Well,
but he strives
the whole
to.
Conan thing about what's best in life is longer than 3 words.
Ah, okay.
So that's usually how I measure success.
All right. Well, Adam, you're starting to irritate me because I don't know what you just said, and I find that irritating. But thanks. But I do thank you greatly for checking into the Radio from Hell show. You're the only person to do it. 877-602-9696, and we'll let you go.
If you were trying to call and no one was answering, call again because Richie's off of his cell phone and will now answer the actual phone.
Oh, he was doing something else for me. He just found out something for me.
Let's see. Not a cat. Checking in. 3 words.
3 words.
2 actually. Plentiful tuna.
That's how you
Does
measure.
anyone other than a cat think?
Well, sure. Tuna fisherman.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. Trucker Callie. Warm, fed, loved.
Oh. Doesn't everybody like to be warm and fed and loved?
Yeah.
That also could be not a cat, I would think.
Could be.
Yeah.
Tim,
Did you see that cat? I tweeted a little video of that cat that was rescued by a firefighter.
Yeah, that was sweet.
You can go to @RFHBill. Little short video. It's very nice.
Oh, and just speaking of pets and fire and stuff, the dog that stayed at the house, like guarding the house in Paradise, like alive, but like was all burned on the pads of his feet, and yeah, there it is.
Oh,
yeah, look at him.
He stayed
Poor
there,
kid.
guarding the house.
He looks so sad.
I know. He's like, where'd everybody go?
Preston is checking in.
Preston.
Good morning.
Good morning. That's a fine name, Preston. It's a strong name. Are you a strong person?
I like to think so.
All right.
Maybe not.
So, 3 words or less.
Yes.
By my accomplishments.
There you.
Wow.
Your success is measured by your accomplishments.
That's the most basic of answers for that.
Go ahead. Have you accomplished many things in your life, Preston?
I just did an hour and a half of yoga for my first time.
An hour and a half of yoga. That's hard.
Now, you say, is it the first time you've done an hour and a half of yoga or the first time you've ever done yoga?
It was my first time doing an hour and a half.
Ah.
I usually only do 45 minutes, but I wanted to push it.
Was 30 minutes of that Shavasana, though? Because that doesn't count.
What's that?
That's when you just lying.
That's
flat.
like the corpse pose.
Yeah.
On your back.
That doesn't count as an hour and a half of yoga.
I count it.
I do that all the time.
I did it this morning.
I had you sweating.
Okay. Yeah, you were sweating.
Do you do hot yoga?
I haven't tried it yet, but I mean, maybe I'll do it this winter when it gets plenty cold enough.
I like the hot yoga.
All right.
All right.
Thanks for checking in with us, Preston. Nice to hear from you.
Let's go to Susan. Susan is here.
Hi.
Hi, Susan. Susan.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
My goodness, it's been a long time since we've heard from you.
I know. I've gotten old.
Well,
we've all gotten older since the last time we talked to you. So,
yeah, that's
okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Get up, go.
Get up.
That's
go.
success.
That's success. Susan, it's great to hear you. You have the most unique, wonderful voice. And,
thank you.
well, please don't be a stranger. Call us more often, okay?
Yes.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right. Bye.
Okay, I guess we got to do the show.
Okay. Nice to hear from Susan.
Yeah.
Yes.
You see, aren't you glad we do check-ins? You want to get rid of this feature.
Not now that I've heard from Susan.
Okay, good. Crash eastbound I-80 at 17th East in Sugar House. Left shoulder being affected there. That's the only thing so far, unless you see something you would like to share, and you do that by texting it to us, 33986.
All right.
You know what I don't want to get rid of? Well, I want to get rid of my bad old tires. I got to get the CRV into Big O Tires.
Mm-hmm. I was at Big O Tires on Friday. I pulled up. Hey, Gina. Hey. I said, my little tire light's on because it's been cold. And I didn't even get out of my car. They said, stay in your car. We'll come fill up your... I didn't even have to get out of my car. They filled up my tires and sent me on my way.
Now, right now, you can save at Big O Tires Black Friday sale, November 16th through the 26th. So it goes on through the 26th. Save up to $190 off Michelin BF Goodrich tires.
Really?
Or buy 3, get 1 free on select sets of tires, plus snow tires starting at just $49.95. $190 off Michelin BF Goodrich or BF Goodrich tires. That's great. Plus snow tires, $49.95. Big O has no credit needed financing, so no matter what your budget, no matter what your situation, they can get financing tailored to you. Big O Tires is more than just tires. You can get your tires, just have air put in them without getting out of your car, just like Gina. So Big O, 40 locally owned and operated locations from Logan to Richfield. Go to bigotires.com. They are the team you trust.
John Smith hosts a 1-hour nonstop music wingding at 10 a.m. on X96.
Hello, this is William Shatner, star of Rescue 911. I have friends who are currently suffering the personal agony of hair loss. Through them, I have learned the importance of investing in a high-quality wig or toupee. That is why, if I needed a hairpiece, I would visit
Carrie and Bill's Wig and Toupee Emporium.
Hi, we're Carrie and Bill, the radio from Hell Guys, and we're proud to be associated with worldwide celebrity wigs and toupees. It's the only non-surgical hair replacement center that offers toupees and wigs woven entirely from celebrities' hair.
Worldwide contracts to buy the hair of Hollywood's most hirsute celebrities. Then when the stars get a haircut or die, Worldwide is on hand to harvest the hair. The hair is then woven into a versatile, lightweight, comfortable wig, personally cut, fit, and styled for you. Just listen to these satisfied customers.
I lost my hair and scalp in an unfortunate encounter with an industrial blender. It was unsightly, and my confidence was at an all-time low. But when Dinah Shore died, Worldwide made me a wig from Dinah's hair. Now I'm so full of confidence, I may just go after Burt Reynolds. Wow.
After years of working at the toxic waste dump in Tooele, I began to notice a loss of most of my head and body hair. I gave Worldwide a call. They replaced the hair on my head with a wig made from Randall Carlisle's golden locks. And as an added bonus, they threw in a half a pound of Ed Asner's body hair for free. Now I'm so confident I may just go after Kimberly Perkins.
This is William Shatner again. Please don't suffer with the torment and embarrassment of hair loss. Just look in the phone book for my friends at
Carrie and Bill's Wig and Toupee Emporium.
Please don't delay. Beam yourself up a full head of hair today.
is local. So that means you might bump into Carrie, Bill, or Gina at the grocery store. So if that happens, hey, ask for a selfie with them. Say cheese, Bill. Bill, say cheese. Bill, 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 say cheese.
Don't you know who I am?
All right, 6:35.
That guy's kind of smarmy, isn't he?
And we got sports with Amy Donaldson coming up. But before that, big boy news and Opinioendo now, brought to you by
Jiffy Lube's team of technicians, highly trained in oil changes, tire rotations, brakes, radiator services, and more. Go to jiffylubutah.com for discount services and nearest locations.
Hey, did you happen to lose a pigeon?
I did not.
That was wearing a really beautiful bedazzled vest, a tiny vest.
Is it Mike Tyson's pigeon?
It's a beautiful. He's very friendly. He's a very friendly pigeon, and he was wearing this little vest, and he's lost. If nobody claims him after a month, this woman who has a shelter that is taking care of him will put him up for adoption. It's a shelter that takes care of birds called Fallen Feathers. They'll do their best to wild the bird up so that he can be released into nature, but they think he's so accustomed to people that they won't be able to do that.
If he wears clothes.
He's accustomed to a certain lifestyle.
Exactly.
He likes to wear the vest, apparently.
I wouldn't let him...
And he enjoys watching TV.
I wouldn't let him wear a bedazzled vest.
Particularly Westerns.
Because he would pick at it and eat the beads.
He doesn't.
He thinks he's people.
He seems to like wearing this. They don't know where he came from.
I'm telling you, call Mike Tyson. I bet he knows who it is. He knows all the pigeons.
Young male pigeon, inexplicably dressed in a rhinestone-studded vest. He was found in Glendale, Arizona, and.
See, that's not far from Vegas. I'm telling you.
I don't know.
It's not my stupid pigeon.
No, he's probably part of somebody's magic show, or somebody's
someone
an act
who's
of some kind.
Someone who's trying to become a magic show magician kind of thing, and he's got his own. That's what it is.
And he's kind of cute, and Anyway, in celebrity news, this happened. I think on Friday, but I saw it after. I don't think we talked about it. William Goldman, who won Academy Awards for his screenplays for Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, All the President's Men, and who, despite being one of Hollywood's most successful screenwriters, was an outspoken critic of the movie industry all of his life. He died on Friday in Manhattan. He was 87 years old. It was colon cancer and pneumonia. In his long career, which began in the 60s, and lasted into the 21st century. Mr. Goldman also wrote the screenplays for popular films like Misery, A Bridge Too Far. Yeah, it was a Stephen King story, but he wrote the screenplay for it, and he actually came up with some of the great lines in Misery. A Bridge Too Far, The Stepford Wives, Chaplin, The Princess Bride, which he wrote the novel The Princess Bride and then did the screenplay for it. And also Marathon Man, which is a novel he wrote, and then did the screenplay for it. And he wrote in All the President's Men, he wrote the famous line, "Follow the money." That was never really said to Bernstein and Woodward.
I always assumed that was really.
Deep Throat never said that to them. He wrote that line, and they said, Bernstein and Woodward said, "That's good." Because that's essentially what he was indicating that we should do, but he never said that directly. That's a good line. Do that.
That is.
Yeah. So he was, and he he wrote the line, "My name is Inigo Montoya," and but he spoke very deprecatingly of the art of screenwriting. He said it's basically just carpentry. He said That's what he said.
That's selling it short.
That's what he said.
Makes it sound like anybody could do it.
He said anybody can do it. You just have to sit there and put it in the right order and just do it. He said, and if you just do it in the right order and then think about it, he said it'll come to you. And he said, I'm not particularly talented. I just work at it. Police are searching for a man in Centerville police are searching for a man who broke into a locked LDS church and assaulted an elderly woman who was playing the organ. The incident happened Saturday night between 9 and 9:30 p.m. at the LDS Church on 270 North 3rd East. An elderly woman was inside the locked building playing the organ when she was assaulted. She told police she heard some loud pounding for several minutes. On the east side of the church, she ignored it, and she knew that she knew the building was locked up, and she ignored it. But apparently, the pounding stopped. But the suspect broke a window and got in, and she didn't hear him. And all of a sudden, somebody was behind her and choking her. Police are trying to figure out why the suspect assaulted the woman, who suffered only minor injuries. Nothing inside the building was stolen. The elderly woman is expected to fully recover. The suspect was wearing a gray hoodie. And that's all she could really say about it.
He really hates organ music.
Yeah, I guess. Search crews found the body of Chenoa L. Plank, 26-year-old woman from Sugar House, who went missing while camping at Strawberry Reservoir Sunday evening. She and her companion were canoeing. Her boyfriend, 24-year-old Benjamin Margalis of Minnesota, she drowned after the couple's canoe capsized near Chicken Creek in Strawberry Reservoir. The big fire in California now, Camp Fire, leaves at least 77 people dead. They're saying 1,300 still remain unaccounted for. Now they're expecting rain in California, I think today, and that's going to help, but the fire is essentially still uncontrolled. There should be some rain Tuesday night, I guess, and into Wednesday. Additional rounds of rain are expected in Northern California near the fire Thursday and Friday, according to the AccuWeather Service. The rain mid to late week will greatly aid crews battling that fire. Donald Trump visited the fire area and talked with Governor-elect Gavin Newsom and Governor Jerry Brown. The commander-in-chief was...
Do you have to call him that?
Well, that's what it says here. Firefighters, he said the firefighters are unbelievably brave. And he was there talking about the fire and said it was terrible what's happened to the town of Pleasure.
And what we saw at Pleasure, what a name right now. But what we just saw, we just left Pleasure. Paradise. For Paradise.
Paradise.
Only the first of many stupid things he said.
He talked about Finnish President Sauli Niinisto told him about raking the forests in Finland, and that's why they don't have forest fires there, because they rake the forest. It's a forest country, you know. And I was talking with the president of Finland, and he told me that they rake the forest, and the president of Finland said, I
don't know what he's talking about.
I don't know. He said we did talk about the forests in Finland, but we didn't talk about raking, and we do have forest fires here.
Yeah, I just had one.
And part of what keeps Finland from not having as many is it's colder there and wetter there.
And wetter.
You know, like really so if California weren't so dry.
That's the thing.
And
Finland's president insinuated the conversation about raking happened in. He said, I think it happened in the president's mind.
I know words. I have the best words.
He said, we didn't ever talk about anything like that. Adam Schiff, Representative Adam Schiff, said House Democrats will challenge President Trump's naming Matthew Whitaker acting attorney general because the appointment is unconstitutional. And he poses a threat to the special counsel's Russia investigation. I think the appointment is unconstitutional. He is clearly a principal officer, and the fact that he is a temporary principal officer doesn't mean that it is any less subject to Senate confirmation. Schiff is expected to be the next chairman of the House Intelligence Committee. The California lawmaker says he believes Democrats would win a court battle over Whitaker's appointment because it flies in the face of succession statute in the Justice Department. It's a flawed appointment, but the biggest flaw from my point of view is that he was chosen for the purpose of interfering with the Mueller investigation, he said. Well, Donald Trump is taking this all very well.
Of course.
He says that he's given a nickname to Adam Schiff. He's calling him Little Adam S word.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. In a tweet.
Little Adam S
In
word.
a tweet? he
Yeah,
did that?
two
Oh, yeah.
T's.
Two T's. Little Adam.
Instead of two F's.
Now, we can say that word if we talk about the television show that's on, was it on?
Netflix.
Netflix, Schitt's Creek. We can say that word.
Because that's their name.
Because that's the name of the family.
Yeah.
And that's how Trump spells it in a tweet. SCHITT.
But we can't.
Little Adam
in the
SCHITT.
In the context of his tweet, we can't.
But we can't because what Donald Trump is saying is he's Little Adam S word.
And the FCC thinks you're all 9 years old.
Yeah. So we can't say that. So he's yeah.
I'm president and you're not.
Yeah. And then we'll get into a little bit later what he has to say about Khashoggi and the tape of him being killed. And we'll get into a little bit later what he has to say about the retired admiral who caught bin Laden.
Yeah. Well, it took him too long.
Yeah. So, but we won't talk about politics exclusively today. I have, let's see, I was looking at, let me look at the boner candidates we have coming up today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't think any of them are political. I'm sorry.
The show's so political.
I apologize for that.
With all of those boners, none of them?
I apologize. I think most of them are kind of funny, actually.
All right. Weather, traffic?
Downtown Farmers Market presents the Winter Market Saturdays from 10 to 2 at the Rio Grande Depot. Shop fresh local goods from local purveyors. More details at slcfarmersmarket.org. It's chilly right now, about 24, and it'll be sunny and 47 for a high today. Traffic, we've got a vehicle on fire southbound I-15 at 114th South. We've got a crash eastbound I-80 at 17th East. And looks like that's about it. You can send us something if you see it, though. A couple people sent in that I-80 East accident. Thank you for doing that. 33986.
And sports brought to you by?
It's the news you trust from the most experienced team in Utah 2 News. Check out the new KUTV.com.
Amy Donaldson Sports. Break.
Amy Donaldson is the sports reporter for the Deseret News. You can read her sports reporting and her sports columns at deseretnews.com. Hi, Amy Donaldson.
Hello.
Hi, it's nice to see you. Now, I was reading your column that was in the column in the Deseret News today, complaining about a targeting call would have been the most un-Whittingham response, and you're talking about this thing called Next Man Up.
Yes, which I hate. Frankly.
Couldn't quite. I just read through it very quickly. I don't really know what that means.
Okay, so next man up means that we don't worry about when our starting quarterback gets hurt because the next guy's going to come in and pick up the slack and
we'll
do what he needs to do. And they say it all the time. And I mean, I've been in sports for almost 19 years, and I just cringe when people say it because I'm like, oh, come on, let's talk in real words and terms, but
because it's not
necessarily true. I'd say 90% of the time it's not true. When you lose somebody like a starting quarterback,
when Alex Smith breaks his leg on the field, it's bad.
Your team doesn't win. And Utah lost both their starting quarterback, their starting running back, and so we heard it a lot. And I was like, yeah. Then their best defensive player gets called for targeting and ejected from the game.
It was so stupid.
On what was clearly not targeting, not even roughing the passer.
No.
Why does
it was just a good, solid
Why
tackle.
does the University of Utah get called for targeting every game?
Well, some of that has to do with the crew that's assigned you. No, and because it's a subjective call to some degree. Now, there is video review, and I am not sure how they reviewed this and left it targeting. I can see in real time because the quarterback's head, he hit him from the side. And I'm telling you,
if you're not
expecting it, your head's going to bobble around like a bobblehead doll because it's football. I mean, I don't know if you've watched the game, but that's what happens.
And it was snowy, and maybe it was hard for them to see. And
so do they review it at the moment? They review it.
They reviewed it, and they also have somebody watching in a booth, and they review it, and they stuck with the call. So I thought it was, I was shocked, but the thing that was also shocking was everyone saying, now Witt's got to stand up for his players. He's got to defend his guys. And like anyone thought Chase Hansen's a dirty player.
No.
And he's one of the nicest kids. I've been covering him since he's 14 years old in high school at Lone Peak, which, by the way, his alma mater won the 6A championship this weekend. But yeah, so I don't think anyone thought that, but, Twitter. And so then people were talking about raising money and how Kalani would defend his guy and why won't Kyle. And I was like, look, have you met Kyle Whittingham? He is not, number one, he's not effusive at all. The fact that we got a picture of his...
Yeah, he looked mad.
Yeah, that we got a picture of his reaction at all. Steve Griffin, former Tribune reporter who was let go, and we very wisely snagged him up. Got an amazing photo, and it shows that he does have human reactions, And no, but he's not going to complain.
Okay.
Because he asks this of his players, and I think it's the hardest thing to do in any sport is just ignore trash
Let it
talking,
go,
ref
and-
calls,
Yeah.
whatever, and just play your game.
Sure.
And because they did, they won 30-7, and now they are the Pac-12 South outright champions. And they get to play for the Pac-12's title on November 30th at 5 p.m.
Whittingham does it right.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, because I hate it when coaches are like, I try to get my guys fired up, and they get ejected from the game
Yeah.
for yelling at the ref.
Yeah.
I think that shows a complete lack of discipline.
Yeah.
So,
All right, let's move on to other sports events.
Well, we have BYU. It was a great, seriously, if you're a Utah fan of any kind, it was a great weekend. So BYU beat New Mexico State 45-10. That makes them bowl eligible. So next up, we have the Holy War, which we also do at Deseret News, a Ute Insider podcast. And so we have an episode every single day this week. And you should all listen to my episode, which is it's all the wives. I invited Jamie Whittingham and
fun.
Yeah, Michelle Holiday. And we talk about all the stuff that you don't know about these coaches and
I
about
like that.
and about the rivalry week, and we had a blast. And they had to tell us to shut up, so we had a great time. But yeah, every single day, and you can find those on DeseretNews.com and also iTunes, I guess. But Weber State, your university, you can get tickets for this game. It's going to be local. They beat Idaho State 26-13 to share in the Big Sky Championship. They get their highest seed ever. They go into the FCS Championships, number 2 seed. So they get a bye the first week, which is this weekend, Thanksgiving weekend, and then they'll play December 1st at Stewart Stadium against the winner of Southeast Missouri State and Stony Brook. So buy your tickets now. Fill that stadium up for Coach Hill, because what he's done up at that program is pretty impressive.
Utah State won, too.
Utah State won.
Barely,
that's
apparently.
10. Yeah, on a last-second call. Looked like a Hail Mary pass. The Colorado State fans stormed the field, and then there appeared to be a flag. The receiver who caught that pass actually stepped out of bounds, and you're not allowed to go out of bounds and then come back in bounds and catch a pass. So the touchdown was taken away, and Utah State wins. They have one more game. They play at Boise State to end their regular season. But they already have 10 wins, so they'll be going to a good bowl game, and they stay in the top 25. NFL, as you mentioned, sad news. Alex Smith broke his leg, oddly, same injury. So it's a tibia and fibula on his right
bad
leg.
break.
Yeah, well, if you watch the video, don't.
No, I
do not recommend it.
I
didn't know.
I saw when Joe Theismann, interestingly enough, playing for the Washington football team.
Yes,
broke his leg.
same day. In 1985.
Same day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Same day.
And Joe
same
Theismann
team.
was there watching this.
Yes.
And that ended his career, didn't it?
Ended his career.
And it might end Alex Smith's career.
And, well, I didn't know not to watch it.
Yeah, I saw that it happened, and I thought, no, I'm not going to watch it, because I saw Joe Theismann's, and it was, I still remember it. It's just like, ugh.
Yeah. So, and not on Alex's, because if you watched it live, you're watching up, and actually it was J.J. Watt, I think, that was in on the tackle. But when you watch it afterwards and you watch his ankle, the lower leg,
it goes in a way it should not.
No, it really you won't want to.
I haven't even seen it, and you're creeping me out.
I can't remember the guy who tackled Theismann.
Oh.
What it did to his career?
And there was a story about that. I believe somebody did.
I think it maybe did something bad to his career as well.
We should also point out that the Utah Jazz won. They play tonight and at the Pacers. But also you need to check out, if you haven't seen it, on Twitter. I also provided a link at x96.com of Donovan Mitchell blocking Gordon Hayward on a layup, extracting revenge for all Jazz fans everywhere. So,
all right. And you want to get that high school?
The high school. We got the Orem winning the 4A title. Corner Canyon wearing a sticker for Paradise High School, who made the playoffs but didn't get to play because their town was destroyed in the fire. They won the 5A title, and then Lone Peak, as I said, won the 6A title.
All right.
Lawrence Taylor was who. Oh, yeah. And if it makes you feel any better, he ended up in jail later. Yeah. So
It doesn't make me feel better because I don't know that it was a dirty hit, but it wasn't. It did lead to the rise of the left tackle position being so critical for football because it's the blindside hit that caused Joe Theismann's, right?
Because you turn to throw, you can't see who's coming.
It's not the case for in the Alex Smith thing. It was just unfortunately got caught between two tacklers and twisted the wrong way.
All right, thank you, Amy. Amy Donaldson, read her stuff at the Deseret News. Thank you very much. Gina, do you have traffic?
Yep. Vehicle on fire southbound I-15, 140th south. Right lane is closed there and causing slowage. Crash eastbound I-80 at 17th East in Sugar House. And looks like that's about it. Unless you see something you would like to add, send it to us via text 33986.
All right. We got round one of your boners coming up. Stand by for that.
Okay. Rand Life, they're currently offering a free appraisal for anybody, and this is up to a $400 appraisal, for anybody wanting to do a refi and pull money out of their home equity. So it can be used for remodeling or to pay off high-interest debts or to pay for Christmas or even for a vacation. So appraised values are up, you know that. Recently, Rand Life helped a client save over $700 a month by paying off high-interest credit cards and then consolidating all of the family's expenditures into one low fixed interest rate. Not to mention save them a lot on taxes because you can't write off credit card interest. You used to be able to years ago, but you can't do that anymore. So you can write off your mortgage interest, so they consolidated all that into a mortgage interest. So if you have more than your share of debt right now, but you do own a home with some equity, give Rand Life Home Loans a call, 801-478-4500. That's 478-4500. Ask to speak to a debt consolidation specialist. It looks like a good fit. They'll pay up to $400 to have the home appraised. Again, that's 801-478-4500.
Radio from Hell has a new podcast.
It's the Radio from Hell Best of podcast.
CART. Spell it with me now. C-A-R-T. And now we'll use it in some dialogue featuring our two Utah friends, Levar and LeGrande. Come join the boys now as they drive the highways and byways of our great city, Salt Lake. LeGrande is driving. His friend Levar is an unwilling passenger. Again, the Utah word is CART. Listen, Mr. Elder LeGrande R. Dunn Jr., I appreciate you driving me to my appointment and all, but you're scaring me to death with the way you're handling this automobile. I think we may die before we get there.
I've been driving this Reliant K car without so much as a fender bender for 8 years now, Lamore. I don't think you have no room to talk about how I drive. Watch out where you're going, you flipping fool!
There, you see, LeGrande, that's just what I mean right there. You cut in front of that guy there, almost rammed into him, and then you honk and yell. It was your fault.
The gall-danged mother flipper saw me signal and just wouldn't move out in the way. He should have moved out in the way.
Look, why don't you just pull over and let me behind the wheel of the K before you give us both ulcers?
Because you haven't a driver's license at this particular junction of time and space. You cannot legally drive. That's why we're driving to the traffic cart, to meet your liar. I have my doubts whether you will get it back, though. You run over a person in a pedestrian crosswalk. Well, the cart isn't going to look on that very favorably.
First off, I didn't run over nobody. I just knocked the guy down. Hell, he jumped right back up, started yelling bloody murder at me, and then it was me that was the one who calmed him down and helped him find most of his teeth. And second off, I fired my liar. He said the best he could do was keep me out of the state pen and in the county lock. He weren't no help at all. So I will represent myself in CART.
Well, you know what they say, Levar. A man who serves as his own liar in CART has a dipstick for a client.
Oh, come on now. Whoever said that?
Smartest liar ever.
Who, F.G. Bailey? Or that Melvin Belly? Maybe it was that Lehigh McKenzie from L.A. Law.
Nope. The smartest liar ever was Perry Mason. Never lost a case in CART.
He was good. Hey, do you ever look at his secretary, that Deli Street, and have impure thoughts?
Yeah, when I was a kid. When I confessed to my church leaders, I was afraid they'd haul me into the bishop's cart.
Is Radio from Hell with Carrie, Bill, and Gina on X96.
All right, 7:02. We got round one of your boner voting coming up. Stand by for that.
Well, I certainly found out where Friends of the Radio from Hell show were on Saturday night.
Yeah.
They were at Neil Gaiman. Man.
All of them were there?
I think they all were there. It was a really great turnout at the Eccles Theater. It was.
They were kind of concerned.
Yeah, I don't think it was packed, but it was. I mean, I don't think it was sold out, but it was certainly an excellent turnout.
Okay.
There were lots and lots of people there, and it was fun. So we went. Well, I don't think my daughter's up yet. I don't want to embarrass her. She didn't realize she was going to see Neil Gaiman with my wife and I. She just didn't. She thought that we were going out to dinner and then we were going to take her home, and then my wife and I were going to go see Neil Gaiman, and she wasn't happy that she was going with us. What? I don't want to go see that. But then
she didn't know who he was.
Well, she did. But because she's read and she liked the movie Coraline, and then she's read another book of his, The Graveyard Tale or something like that. But as it turns out, she loved it. She just loved it.
What did he read from books, or what did he do?
Here he told he started out by answering questions. He had a stack of I don't know how he got the cards of questions from people. I guess they had passed out cards or something. I didn't see that happen, but he had a stack of cards, questions from the audience. So that's how he started out, by answering the questions from the cards. But then he read from some books. He read something from Good Omens, which is a series that he's the showrunner, and he and Terry Pratchett wrote it, and he talked about that. And it's going to be on soon.
Very soon.
February, maybe? Something like that.
Yeah, I think.
He talked about being the showrunner and the writer and the producer.
I read that book. It's a good book.
I started to read it once a few years ago, and I didn't care for it that much, but I think I'll go back and try it again. He talked about that. He read from that. He read from something else, and then he read a poem that he had written. But mostly it was answering questions, and it was good. He's very entertaining. He's really low key. He's
charming.
Speaks very quietly and very charmingly. But it was very good. My daughter loved it, and just tons of friends of the programs there. I must have had my picture taken with people a dozen times, and
they thought you were Neil Gaiman.
Selfies, and no, they probably didn't. But he does have long hair. And when we went to dinner at that little place in the Regent Street, Fireside, before the show,
pizza place.
Yeah, they have their house-made pasta there, which is really good, and the pizzas are good and good cocktails, and then the show. But before the show, I was reading about Neil Gaiman on my phone, and then I silenced it, and I made a mistake. I put it in the cup holder, and then we left the show, and I got home, and I went, my phone's in the cup holder back down at the Eccles Theater.
I bet that happens a lot.
And I rushed back down to the Eccles Theater, but, it was 10:15 when we got home. It was 10:30 when I got back down there, and there was not nary a soul to be seen. So I'm thinking, oh, man. And I thought, nobody's going to steal it. If somebody finds it, they'll turn it in. People are basically pretty honest. Somebody will turn it in. And then I thought, oh, you know what? I know that I can go to my computer.
Find my iPhone.
And I can go find my phone. I have an Android, so I can, but they just have the same thing. Google does that. I can do find my phone. So I did that, and it's at the Eccles Theater. And I went, okay, good.
Well,
and then
didn't walk away.
Yeah, and then there's a thing that says you can do certain things, and there's one thing that says you can click on it, and it says put in a phone number. And if you find this phone, call the number and tell the person that you have found this phone. And so I have a landline, which I almost never use, but I put in the phone number of the landline. And about 20 minutes later, our landline rings. And it's about 11 o'clock, 11:15. Pick it up. Hi, this is Deputy Sheffield down here at the Eccles Theater.
Deputy.
Wow.
They have it's a county, so the Salt Lake County administers the Eccles Theater. They run it, and they run the Rose Wagner. And there's a deputy sheriff. There's a sheriff there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's always somebody there. And I found your phone, and I called the number, and I went, wow, that's great. It works. He said, you can come down and get it whenever you want. You want to come down tomorrow morning? And I said, Sunday morning? Yeah, sure. So I went down at 8 o'clock, and he told me, Sunday morning, he said, there'll be a deputy down here, and told me where the stage door is. And he said, he'll probably be there at about 8 o'clock. If he's not there, he's just making some rounds. They make rounds every so often to make sure the building's secure. And I went down, and he was there, and showed him, got my phone. I was just so pleased the way the whole thing worked.
It could have gone horribly
I know.
wrong.
Yeah. It was just.
I was at the Eccles last night.
Yes. How did that go?
For
David
Sedaris. Festus, for Mother's Day, clear back in May, bought me tickets to David Sedaris. And I was going to save this, and I'll probably bring it up when we do Must Go this week. But every time I'm at the Eccles, there is somebody sitting in front of me with their phone out.
There were people with their phones out at Neil Gaiman, too, like scrolling through their phone
Yeah.
and looking at their
On
phone rather
Facebook.
than paying attention.
Yeah, and it's bright, and
Now, these people had theirs kind of muted and
No.
you couldn't see.
I could
it was
see,
kind
I
of
could
dark.
see
but-
she was on Facebook. I'm like, what? Why are you here?
Yeah, I don't get that.
I think there are people that are incapable of being in the moment. They just can't. They just can't do it.
And in that instance, did you say your phone is distracting?
No, I mean she was just far enough away that.
Oh, okay.
But and actually, David Sedaris talked about it, and he didn't notice that person, but he talked to somebody asked him about meeting the Queen because he lives in England, and he does this thing where he goes out for hours every day picking up trash.
Yeah.
It's just kind of
That's become his thing.
Yeah.
I've heard him talk about that.
because he has a Fitbit and he likes to try to get
Oh, I see.
steps.
Oh, it's exercise. Okay.
So I guess the Queen does this thing where she does. It's like a do-gooder day where they invite people to the palace, and
Yeah, I've heard him talk about this.
and he said when you go, they tell you please put your phones away. Please don't have your phones out. And he said, and I put my phone away. And he said, inevitably, people are walking up, taking selfies and filming. And he said, why is it so hard to just enjoy the thing you're doing instead of documenting every second of it? Just put your phone away.
There were some people on Instagram I saw who took pictures of Neil Gaiman while he was speaking, and now I didn't notice any flashes or anything like that, so they did it pretty surreptitiously.
I was going to say, one quick pic, that's fine. But lingering on your phone, that should not be allowed.
There were some people sitting around me who they had their phones out and
just be in the moment.
I mean, checking your Facebook during a performance, that's...
Because people want to prove look where I am.
Yeah, okay.
Look what I'm doing.
Like I said, one quick pic, there you go. But then post it after the show.
Take a picture of the sign as you're walking in. Oh, very excited to go see David Sedaris tonight.
Neil Gaiman read a piece from his new book. It's Norse mythology. He retells these Norse, and it was about Loki and how Thor got his hammer, and it was really good. I mean, he just retells them, but he retells them in a really nice style, really modern way of telling the stories, and he's just great. He didn't talk once about American gods, though. Not one mention or comment about American gods.
It's it's coming back.
Yeah,
the second season is coming back.
Isn't he running it?
And he's involved with the show. I don't know if he's a showrunner or not, but he's involved in the show. But there has been a lot of tumult around that.
He talked about being the showrunner for Good Omens, and he said it really is the greatest thing because he says when you're a writer and you write it and then you turn it over, you don't matter anymore. They'll just do what they want.
Yeah.
He says now as the showrunner, they can't tell me, oh, we had to cut that because it's too expensive. I can say no. We're doing it. We'll do it no matter what.
My UDOT website crashed, so I need your help more than ever, friends of the program. It just says it's having an error, an unexpected error. So if you see something, I think it's pretty light so far this morning, but if you see something, please text it to us, 33986.
All right, thank you very much.
See, now we have got Boners Round 1 coming up. Is that right?
Yes, right after these, along with Big Boy News and Innuendo.
All right, here are your candidates. Boner candidate number 1. It wasn't the bad check she was worried about. Boner candidate number 2, a few crimes and lots of horrible decisions. And boner candidate number 3, ease up. Haven't you forgotten to lock up the rolls from time to time?
All right, Boners Round 1, Big Boy News, all coming up in just a few moments. Brooklinen.com.
Will you shut up about your sheets?
I like my sheets.
Good.
Well,
let the man talk.
Right.
Get some, and then
I'll get it.
Then you'll
Okay.
understand. And that's the thing, is that they want to give you a chance because they've got their return policy and all that. Rave reviews from Business Insider, Apartment Therapy, Men's Health Magazine. 30,000 5-star reviews, more than any other online bedding company. They're just terrific. 5-star hotel quality sheets, affordable. Luxury sheets without the luxury markup. Most bedding is marked up as much as 300%. My Brooklinen sheets are the best, most comfortable sheets I've slept on, and now it's time for your chance to try them, Gina. Giving you an exclusive offer just for our listeners. You'll get $20 off and free shipping when you use the promo code Jackson. That's Jackson, my last name, at brooklinen.com. They are so confident in their product and all their sheets, comforters, and towels. They come with a lifetime warranty. The only way to get $20 off and free shipping is to use the promo code Jackson at brooklinen.com. That's BROOKLINEN.com. The promo code Jackson. These really are the best sheets ever. Join X96 for our all-day broadcast to fight hunger on Wednesday at Teleperformance in West Valley, 4650 West, 1991 South.
Join us, Radio from Hell, along with John Smith and Todd Newcomb, broadcasting live and taking your food donations from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m.
All donations will go to the Utah Food Bank. Bring non-perishable canned or boxed food items, plus we'll take frozen turkeys and hams.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Radio from Hell show is proud to announce a brand new entertainment in downtown Salt Lake City.
That's right. It's the grand opening of Carrie & Bill's Shakespeare Dinner Theater, where patrons can enjoy the very best in culture and cuisine.
Each month, Bill and I will present a brand new Shakespeare play for your delight.
And with each play, we'll change our dinner theater menu. We begin this weekend with Hamlet, Prince of Denmark.
Who's there?
Nay, answer me. Stand and unfold yourself.
Long live the king.
Bernardo?
Line. He.
You come most carefully upon your hour.
'Tis now struck 12. Get thee to bed, Francisco.
And with immortal lines like that from the Bard, you get your choice of Hamlet Hawaiian-style ham, a juicy ham steak with a pineapple ring, or the Polonius chicken pot pie.
And what's even more fun, not only will Bill and I play most of the parts, but we'll be your waiters.
In coming months, you'll delight to other great Shakespearean masterpieces.
Like The Taming of the Shrew, with me as Petruchio and Bill as Catherine the Shrew.
If I be waspish, best beware my sting.
My remedy is then to pluck it out.
Aye, if the fool could find it where it lies.
Who knows where a wasp does wear his sting? In his tail.
In his tongue.
Whose tongue?
Yours, if you talk of tails, and so farewell.
What? With my tongue in your tail? Nay, come again, good Kate, I am a gentleman.
It's Carrie & Bill's Shakespeare Dinner Theater in the old Felt Electric building in the Regent Street alley off 2nd South.
And look in your Happenings coupon book for a 2-for-1 coupon, good on Wednesdays and Thursdays at Carrie & Bill's Shakespeare Dinner Theater. Your dinners are full price, but one of you will get to sit through the play twice.
Get thee hence to Carrie & Bill's Shakespeare Dinner Theater, where you give us the dough and we put on the show.
Hell Show on X96. Call 877-602-9696 or text us at 33986. Message and data rates apply.
All right, 7:20 right now. Time for a round, huh?
So bread sandwich sounds good.
Does sound good, doesn't it? I like sourdough.
A bread sandwich.
Bread sandwich.
So you get a couple of slices of bread.
Yeah.
And then you put like some mayonnaise and mustard on it, and then you put a piece of bread in.
No
there,
no mayonnaise and mustard. Just
2 slices of bread and then a piece of bread in the middle.
Yeah.
What, you wouldn't have any mayonnaise or mustard?
Well, I suppose you could.
That doesn't sound like that's the recipe, though. It sounds like the recipe is.
Well, you'd want something.
Well, sure.
So you take a slice of bread, you put some mayonnaise on it, a little mustard.
I don't think
take
there's a problem with that.
Okay.
Then so that's what I would do. I'd take 2 slices of sourdough, and I'd get a slice of Wonder Bread. So then I'd put some mayonnaise and mustard on the sourdough. Then I'd put the slice of Wonder Bread there.
In the middle.
In the middle. Then I'd slap another piece of sourdough on top and eat it.
Oh, sounds good.
Yeah.
That's
It's
lunch.
a bread sandwich. Yeah.
Never had a bread sandwich before? All right.
I used to say that I'd like an S sandwich, but I didn't.
No. Time for round 1 of your boner voting. 3 news stories. They are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior. And you will decide with your vote of these 3 candidates which one is the worst, which one deserves to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day. This is the beginning of our elimination process, working our way toward boner of the day. See, one of these will win round 1, and it'll go to boner fight. It'll face off against the winner of round 2. Yeah, we'll do this again at 8:20 with 3 more candidates. We'll take the winner of that round and send them to boner fight. So they will both duke it out at 9:20 this morning. That's when boner of the day is decided. Keep in mind, boner means mistake. 2 candidates now, a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, then you'll vote. One of you lucky random boner voters will receive.
I can't buy it, gotta win it. Radio from Hell boner t-shirt courtesy of Excel Automotive Repair. Radio from Hell's official auto mechanics. Don't buy a lemon. Try Excel Automotive's $50 bumper-to-bumper used car checkover before you buy. Limit 2 cars per $50.
So boner candidate number 1, it wasn't the bad check she was worried about. A North Georgia woman accused of trying to cash a bad check before leading cops on a high-speed chase Tuesday afternoon, authorities said.
There's her mugshot at x96.com/live.
She looks like, oops, I got caught.
Yeah,
that's the look on her face.
It wasn't the bad check she was worried about. Rosalind Becker of Jasper. She's only 35, by the way.
How is that a 35-year-old person?
That's a 35.
That's a lot of miles.
Hard-living 35.
Yep.
She was attempting to cash a fraudulent check when deputies responded to the Delta Community Credit Union. Deputies allegedly chased Ms. Becker's black Toyota Camry onto Georgia 34 East. Deputies said she ran a red light, turned south into Laura Smith Road, and reached more than 70 miles an hour as they passed through 2 school zones around 3:30 p.m. Those school zones belong to Arnall Middle School and White Oak Elementary. She's accused of driving up to 90 miles an hour during the chase. Deputies performed a PIT maneuver. I'm not sure what that is.
That's where they come up behind you and they bump your car just right so that it sends it into a spin.
They've done that to you?
That sounds fun.
I'm familiar with the maneuver.
Okay. All right. On Lower Fayetteville Road near Fisher Road, the sheriff's office confirmed that deputies found cocaine powder in her vehicle. She also allegedly tried to consume several bags of white powder when she was taken to the sheriff's office for questioning. So she's trying to eat this cocaine.
Oh, jeez.
Becker faces charges of identity fraud, forgery, narcotics possession, felony fleeing, speeding in a school zone, reckless conduct, going inside of a guard line with drugs, suspended license, reckless driving, and failure to maintain the lane. She is in the Coweta County Jail without bond. Boner candidate number 1. You see, it wasn't just the bad check she was worried about. Here's boner candidate number 2. Well, a few crimes and lots of horrible decisions. An Oklahoma man paid a visit to a strip club at about 3 in the morning. Bad decision number 1.
Nothing good ever happens.
And police said that bad decision set in motion a series of events that resulted in him running naked down a country road.
This sounds like a movie.
The man told police that he had been kidnapped by 2 men during a convoluted robbery that started after he went to the gentleman's club, and officers were surprised to find his strange account largely checked out. About an hour after going to the strip club, the man joined a dancer he'd just met at an all-night diner.
Again, I've seen this movie.
Called Mama Lou's, where the pair struck up a conversation with 2 men, later identified as William Trites and Philip Tullis. They struck up a conversation with them in the parking lot of Mama Lou's. The victim admired the Jeep that they were driving. Nice Jeep you got there. And one of them said, well, you know, I've got a few others just like it for sale.
Uh-oh, here we go.
The 4 of them went to a storage facility in Moore, where Trites and Tullis insisted on patting them down for safety purposes before going inside one of the locked units. Once they were inside, the victim said the suspects laid out some lines of cocaine.
Quite a night he's having.
The victim and his companion say that they refused the cocaine, but the men ordered them to snort the cocaine. Then one of the suspects demanded money from the man before driving him to a remove street, I think that's like an alley, forcing him to take off all of his clothes and then dropping him off on a remote road. A neighbor spotted the man, naked, walking down the road and called police. There's a man running naked down west on Bethel Road, said one caller, and he's going, help, help, there's been an accident. I wasn't about to go out there and help him. Police were initially skeptical of the man's story, but they questioned the dancer, whose story matched the victim's wild tale. As crazy as it sounded at first, it actually did happen pretty closely to the way they said. Police assured neighbors that the kidnappers weren't roaming the streets at all hours of the night, saying the victim had played at least a partial role in what transpired. There was a few crimes committed, one of the policemen said, but there was a horrible lot of horrible decisions which led up to him eventually being found naked walking down the road.
Yep.
Boner candidate number 2, a few crimes and lots of horrible decisions.
As soon as you said conversation, parking lot, and strip club, that's where it began. Yes.
Coming up in a moment, boner candidate number 3, ease up. Right. Haven't you forgotten to lock up the rolls from time to time?
We got candidate number 3 for round 1 coming up after this big boy news and Opinioendo brought to you by.
Get unlimited 1.5% cash back plus a $100 bonus with Power Cashback credit card from Security Service Federal Credit Union. Restrictions apply. Get details at ssfcu.org.
So you remember last Friday?
Barely.
We talked about Mike Lee delivering a speech to the Conservative Federalist Society.
But we don't need roads? Is that something like that?
That would have been more at home on Alex Jones' radio show than at a gathering. So in it, Lee warned of a brewing civil war and claimed that the only way to avert violence would be to eradicate a long list of federal programs, including the interstate highway system, funding for K through 12 public education, federal higher education accreditation, early childhood education, the Department of Commerce, housing, so on and on and on. And
he's been reading those conspiracy theory websites again.
But so Dick Clark, our friend Dick Clark, sent a tweet that I had not had a chance to check out until this morning. He said, you should listen to how Mr. Senator Lee opened his speech to the Federalist Society. And so I did this morning. He began with a joke. So here he is talking to the Federalist Society.
Okay.
And he told a story. He said, a friend of mine and his wife told me this story about a dog. About a dog they had. This friend of mine and his wife, they didn't have children, but they had a very large dog that they loved so much it was like their child. And they lived in an urban setting. They lived in a big city. And the wife called the husband and said, that their dog had died unexpectedly. And they didn't have a yard because they lived in an apartment. And the wife said, I don't know what to do. We don't have any place to bury the dog. And the husband said, well, I can't get home right now. Call the vet and ask him what we should do with the dog. It's a very large dog. So the wife calls the vet, and the vet says, well, you should bring the dog here, and we can dispose of the body, and cremate the body. And the wife said, all right, but I don't have a car, so I'll have to take the dog on the subway. But it would be weird to take a big dog, a dead dog on the subway.
Yeah.
I don't know how to.
All right.
Would you just let me tell the story that Mike Lee is telling this Federalist Society? And so she figures, well, here's what I'll do. I'll put the dog in a suitcase. So she got a large suitcase, and she put this big dog in the suitcase, and she hauls it down to the subway, and but it's really hard because it's a big dog. Mm-hmm. And she's going down the subway steps, and a man sees her struggling with this, and he says, can I help you? And she said, thank you very much. That's very nice of you. And this man helps her down into the subway with this big suitcase and helps her onto the train car, and helps her put the suitcase up on the shelf in the subway. And she goes to the vet's office. And as it happens, she gets to her stop, and she starts to get the man says, that's a very heavy suitcase. What have you got in there? And she says, well, she can't tell him it's a dog. He said, well, it's computer equipment. I have a bunch of computer equipment in there that I'm taking to the shop. And she gets to the stop where the vet is, and the man's still on the train, and he says, I'm getting off here too. Could I help you with that computer equipment? She said, well, thank you. That's very nice of you. And the man gets the big suitcase down off the shelf and takes off with it, runs off with it. And then Mike Lee looks at the audience and said, I think that's a good analogy for what the Democrats tried to do to Judge Kavanaugh.
What? That's...
And they all kind of laugh and applaud.
That doesn't make any...
It makes zero sense.
That's just... That's not even...
And then he goes on talking about this interstate highway stuff and the federalism and...
Huh?
And then he says, but anyway, and goes into his speech. It makes...
I'm truly...
I was baffled. And Dick Clark, in his tweet, said, I don't... And I messaged him this morning, and I said...
Am I missing something?
Am I missing something? And he says, no, you're not. I don't get it either. And these people at the Federalist Society, they kind of laugh and applaud. Rather than going, what?
Yeah, he's gone. Mike Lee is gone.
What is...
He's gone down that right-wing conspiracy rabbit hole.
Now, maybe I'm going to go home today, and I'll listen to the whole thing again and listen to the entire speech.
To see if there's a...
And maybe somebody
correlation in some way.
Yeah, and maybe somebody can explain it. So, I don't know. All right, so let's move on. We'll do another little bit of quick news. Speaking of dogs, Joe Biden adopted a German Shepherd.
So
Did you see
cute,
this?
yes!
Joe Biden, Uncle Joe, just welcomed a majorly cute addition to his family, a German Shepherd named Major. On Saturday, the former vice president and his wife, Jill, officially adopted Major, the rescue dog, who they've been fostering from the Delaware Humane Society in Wilmington, Delaware. We are so happy to welcome Major to the Biden family, and we're grateful to the Delaware Humane Association for their work in finding forever homes for Major and countless other animals. There's a picture of Uncle Joe with Major, the German Shepherd, who looks like a very lovely dog.
Yeah, who doesn't have a dog? Donald Trump.
Well, maybe
he's like the first president in I don't know how long that hasn't had a dog.
Andrew Gillum, the Democratic mayor of Tallahassee, running for governor of Florida, on Saturday finally conceded the contentious race to his Republican opponent, Ron DeSantis. Gillum appeared in a Facebook video with his wife, R.J. Gillum, to acknowledge his loss by a margin of just 0.41 percentage points. Florida Governor Rick Scott formally ousts Bill Nelson after recounts. He officially won his third statewide race by narrowest margin yet, barely 0.1 of a percentage point, giving Republicans their fourth takeaway from Democrats in the U.S. Senate. Both a machine recount and a manual recount were required. Scott will now be the senator from Florida.
What's happening with McAdams and Love? Where are we at with that?
I don't.
Last I heard, they were still counting, and that it was really, really close.
Yeah, it's funny. I didn't see anything about it. Let me look here quickly to see if there's anything about it on the Deseret. There wasn't anything about it on the Deseret News website.
Last I paid attention was Saturday morning.
It's got to be.
Yeah, Saturday and Sunday There's still provisional ballots that need to be counted, and there's still a winner has not yet been counted.
Spencer Cox predicted this,
and President Trump launched a volley of criticism against the retired Navy SEAL admiral who led the Osama bin Laden raid, calling him a Hillary backer, and suggesting that he should have caught the terrorist leader bin Laden sooner. In an interview with Fox News Sunday, by the way, if you have time, listen to that interview. Chris Wallace.
It's good, yeah.
Chris Wallace has been kind of supportive of Trump in a lot of ways, but he really rags him and doesn't let him get away with stuff and asks him a lot of hard questions. He brought up comments that Admiral Bill McRaven made in February of 2017, a month after Trump was sworn in, that the president's attacks on the media were the greatest threat to democracy that he has seen in his lifetime. Trump pushed back, calling McRaven a Hillary Clinton fan. Excuse me, Hillary fan. He's a Hillary Clinton backer and an Obama backer, and frankly, wouldn't it have been nice if he had gotten Osama bin Laden a lot sooner than that? Wouldn't that have been nice? Wallace pointed out that Admiral McRaven, who didn't endorse a presidential hopeful in 2016, had been a Navy SEAL for 37 years. Trump ignored him and continued his attack, living in Pakistan, beautifully in Pakistan, in what I guess they consider a nice mansion. I don't know. I've seen nicer. But living in Pakistan, right next to the military academy, everybody in Pakistan knew he was there, and we give Pakistan $1.3 billion a year, and they don't tell him? They don't tell him?
All right. Mia Love is ahead by about 400 votes right now.
Yeah, but it's
very close.
Very close.
They're still not calling it.
Weather, traffic.
It's chilly, 25. We'll get up to 47 and sunny today. We'll be sunny for the next few days, but we should oughta.
We should gonna. I know what you're talking. I know what you're saying.
We should gonna.
We should gonna get some rain on Thanksgiving. Traffic, friend of the program says southbound Highway 89, a guy hit a deer before 4th North in Kaysville. He says the deer is alive and sitting in the middle of the road. Let's see, we've got a crash southbound 89, 1400 North in Farmington. Crash northbound I-15. This is an American Fork at milepost 277. And if you see something like a deer in the road, let us know, 33986.
The ballots that haven't been counted yet, by the way, are the ballots of people who registered and voted on the day of the election.
Oh, the provisionals.
That's going to benefit McAdams, I would think.
That should benefit McAdams, so we'll see.
All right.
Here's boner candidate number 3. Ease up. Haven't you forgotten to lock up the rolls from time to time? When it comes to the winding journey of life, it's important to remember some basic rules along the way. One of them might be, say, lock your doors if you're going to leave a $50,000 assault rifle in your Rolls Royce.
Mm-hmm.
When you think that nugget of wisdom would come naturally for most, it was apparently a lesson learned for Miami Heat center Hassan Whiteside over the summer. The 29-year-old Whiteside reportedly purchased a M16 assault rifle with ammunition, silencer, and a rifle bag for the low price of $50,000 back in July, according to radio host Andy Slater. Per the report, Whiteside's next move was to drive to the University of Miami for a workout. And when he returned home the next day, he discovered that the weapon was missing. After an investigation by police, it was determined that the gun was stolen because Mr. Whiteside had left it in his unlocked Rolls Royce at the gun store.
This is one of those people that's going to be broke in 3 years.
The rifle was reportedly discovered some weeks later in a stolen car in North Miami. Whiteside later confirmed that the gun had been stolen and recovered in a statement released through the Miami Heat on Thursday. Yeah, I have a license for the gun. It was stolen from me over the summer. I should have secured it better. Oh, come on now, ease up on the poor guy. Haven't you forgotten to lock up the rolls from time to time?
All right. Boner candidate number 3. Let's review the first 2 and vote.
Boner candidate number 1. You know, it wasn't the bad check she was worried about. It was a woman speeding 70 miles an hour through school zones, 90 miles an hour other places. She was being chased because she tried to cash a bad check, but when she was captured, she had all kinds of cocaine and other things in the car. Boner candidate number 2, you know, a few crimes and lots of horrible decisions. A series of horrible decisions started at a strip club and ended with a man running naked down the street. And boner candidate number 3, ease up. Haven't you forgotten to lock up the rolls from time to time?
All right. This is round 1 of your boner voting. You've got to decide of these 3 candidates which one is the worst, which one deserves to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day. If it wins here, it goes up against the winner of round 2's voting. Yeah, we're going to do this again at 8:20 with 3 more candidates. We'll take the winner of that round, face off against the winner of this round at 9:20 this morning. That's when boner of the day is decided with boner fights. All right, so pick your champion for round 1 right now. 1, 2, or 3. Remember your candidate number. Put that number in the message of a text, and then text that to 33986. That's all we need in the message. It's just that single digit. That's how the computer counts it. All right. You can call 877-602-9696. Use your voice to vote. Cynthia will take your vote in the producer's booth. Or go to x96.com and look for the box that says Boner Voting November 19 and vote there. If you don't see that box refresh, it'll appear. 4 minutes. Here we go. It's round 1.
The music starts at 10 with a 1-hour nonstop music wing-ding on X96.
Farting is far from just a human problem. Animals fart too.
Well, yes. If they have digestive systems, it'll happen.
As the Washington Post reported, there's a new hashtag making the rounds through the science Twitterverse. Hashtag does it fart, which, as you may have guessed, is here to answer any and all questions about which animals are capable of passing gas.
Well, I would say just
Not
about
all.
any.
No, not all.
Really?
Yeah,
It's part of digestion. If you digest.
Which animals cut the cheese?
Okay.
Well,
Okay, I don't know which ones do. I want to know the ones that don't.
tons do, of course. Bats, all that.
Mm-hmm.
The bigger they are, the harder they fart.
Of course.
Bear farts are horrible.
Rats, zebras, bearded dragons are among the creatures that fart. Birds, on the other hand, do not seem to pass gas. Birds.
That actually kind of makes sense.
But they could, let's see, marine invertebrates.
So you should eat like a bird so you don't fart?
Oysters, mussels,
Well,
crabs.
how would they fart?
I don't know.
They don't have a bum.
Well, they eliminate waste.
She said in the most scientific way possible.
They eliminate waste. They take in nutrients and eliminate waste. The hashtag has a purpose beyond making scientists giggle at their own handiwork. The paper explained whether or not a given animal farts is apparently a question that zoo employees often receive from kids who come to the zoo.
Well, yeah.
They ask the questions.
Kids would ask that.
If a little scatological humor keeps kids interested in biology, well, everybody wins. And if the hashtag does it fart has you jonesing for more internet things at the intersection of animals and potty humor, there's always... no, I don't think I can say that one. It's about animals with the weirdest genitalia. Okay.
Now, here's someone who's saying that birds fart because they've heard their cockatiel fart. I don't think you have.
What have you
maybe
heard
it's just
then?
making
I
a fart
think you've
sound.
heard it making a fart sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they're mimicking you.
Probably
maybe?
imitating you
Yeah.
farting.
Yeah.
You know, in that round one of your boner voting, it's brought to you by Spatchcock Chicken.
What kind of chicken is that?
That's the cut.
That's where you butterfly it.
All right.
And?
That's it. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had
Well.
stuffing finally. Remember how I was whining about stuffing?
You
I
got your stuffing?
Who
some
stuffed
stuff.
you? Who did it?
Oh, my husband.
He made it?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Sure. And he's going to make it again on Thursday.
Did he make it with? I mean, did he have something to go along with it?
Well, sure. It wasn't just stuffing.
But you don't need anything else to go along with
that's
it.
a meal.
All
And my
right.
kids don't get it. They're like, it's just bread. It's soggy bread. What?
Well, you should crisp it up a little.
Well, I mean, but it's still.
They'd get it if you stuck it in the waffle iron.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you.
So we had boner candidate number one. It wasn't the bad check she was so worried about. It was all the stuff that was in the car if the cops caught her, which they did. Boner candidate number two. A few crimes and lots of horrible decisions led to a man running down the street naked. And boner candidate number three. Ease up. Haven't you forgotten to lock up the Rolls Royce from time to time? That's the basketball player, Hassan Whiteside, who bought a $50,000 assault rifle and then put it in his Rolls Royce and then forgot to lock it up and got stolen. Lincoln won the Boner T-shirt, a person named Lincoln. And the winner, they were all very even, but barely eking out a win. Boner candidate number three. Ease up. Haven't you forgotten to lock up the Rolls Royce from time to time?
All right, that's your winner of round one. It is now eligible to be boner of the day for today. It has to defeat the winner of round two's voting. We'll do this again at 8:20 with three more candidates. We'll take both of those winners. Boner fight happens at 9:20. That's when you'll decide boner of the day.
Are we going to do boner of the week? No, I guess
Probably not, no.
Because Wednesday we'll be at Teleperformance out in West Valley, and we'll be collecting food for the food bank.
Yep.
So if you're shopping for your Thanksgiving dinner today, or why don't you please get some extra stuff and bring it out to us at Teleperformance? Turkeys, hams, canned goods. We
Anything
really
you need,
stuff,
other
yeah.
people need.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And if you're like a lot of people who are way too busy right now, you can just go to x96.com. There's a specified link for us here that you can make a donation, and those donations that are made via x96.com for the Utah Food Bank, you also will be entered to win that Traeger grill
nice.
as well. So if you're like, listen, I want to be there with you guys, I can't, or you recognize that your money goes further than with what you could purchase, you can just
A
go to
lot
x96.com, take care of it right now, and then no more conscience when we tell you to do it. You look at other people and go, you go do it. I've already done it.
So Saturday, I was at Larry Miller used car supermarket, doing a little remote, and I was working with a new member of the Broadway media staff, and I'd never met him before. He was a young guy. I won't mention his name; it doesn't matter. He was a very nice guy. So I was getting to know him a little bit, and I say, "So what do you do?" He says, "Well, I have a little DJ business around town, and I just started working here for Broadway Media. I've done remote stuff for other stations here in the building, but it's the first time I've done one for X96, and I'm enjoying this. And then I'm a student at the university. I'm an entrepreneur, and I probably want to grow my DJ business, and I'm studying that and I study positivity and positive thinking, and I study, forward thinking." And I said, "What does that mean?" And he looked at me like, "What? Nobody's ever asked me that before."
What forward thinking is?
Yeah, what positivity and being, studying a positive attitude.
Okay.
Nobody's ever asked me that before. He said, "It just means, I think it's important to always approach things with a positive attitude."
I can see why you're confused by this, Bill.
It's important to approach things with a positive attitude and always look at things with a very,
Glasses half full.
Yeah, always be positive and make sure that you approach things that way with good energy and make sure that you're positive in life. And
Nice.
I said, "How old are you?" And he said, "I'm 22." And I said, "Well, life will beat that out of you. Don't worry." And he looked at me again and he went, What kind of a thing is that to say?
Right? I'm glad he talked to you that way.
He said, What do you?
What's wrong with you?
I said, you'll see. Talk to me again in a few years. And then we went on and did the remote, and we had a pleasant time, actually. We talked about other stuff and went on, but I kept. And we gave away Blue October tickets to a Murray police officer.
That's a positive.
Whose last name just happened to be Allred.
But
no shenanigans. We had a drawing.
No relation.
No relation.
But Bill,
giving him away to the Murray police officer was kind of cool too, though, because when I called him to tell him he'd won the tickets, I didn't say anything. I just dialed his number, and he picked up and went, "Bill," and I said, "What? How did you? Do you have some kind of special police phone that you knew it was me? My name popped up because I didn't say anything." And he went, "Yes." He said, "No. I just kind of figured if maybe I had won." So.
But it is possible to go through life and not be tainted by it and have a positive attitude.
No,
sure, it is.
It is possible. Not working in radio, though.
Yeah.
And that's the first mistake this guy's going to learn. Working in radio is going to be just nothing but disappointed.
So what was interesting to me, too, as we were talking, he said, "Tell me about yourself, Bill. How long have you been doing radio?" And I told him all about that, and he said, "Oh, really?" He said, "So he said, I'm not familiar with you. I don't know anything about you. Tell me about X96 and Radio from, what is it? Radio from Hell. I don't know about that." Told me all about that. Never heard of me. Never heard of this. Had never really heard of the show. He's grown up here in Utah. Never heard of it. But as we talked, and we had a pleasant conversation and a pleasant afternoon. We really did. And as we went on, as we got toward the end of our time together, our 2 hours together, I said to him, I feel kind of bad about what I said to you. He said, "What?" I said, the comment about life will beat it out of you. Life will beat that positivity out of you. And he went, "Oh, what? Oh, I already forgot about that. I didn't give it a second thought."
Because he looks at things positive.
And I said, exactly. And I said,
just put that right out of my head.
I said, "Really?" Because I've been feeling bad about it all the time we've been talking. And he said, "Oh, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal."
He seems like a very nice, interesting young man.
He was a nice guy. He was a very nice guy. I still believe that life will beat that out of him, but
if not life, radio will.
Yeah, radio might, but he's a nice guy, member of a fraternity up at the U, and we raise money for the Huntsman Cancer Institute. And
nice.
What are you doing with the rest of your evening? Well, I'm going to go study, and then I'm going to go up. I live at the fraternity house, and I'm going to finish installing a sound system that I've done in there. And then we're having a party tonight. Got a full evening.
Good for him.
You know, so good for him.
Did you take his positivity and go on with it? What'd you do the rest of your day?
No, I went home and got drunk.
Oh.
No, I went to see Neil Gaiman. Went out to dinner and went to see Neil Gaiman. But it did have something for me. That whole thing had something for me. And it was
he had some positive effect on you.
Yeah.
So
it was pleasant speaking with him. I'll check in with him in a couple of years.
Can't wait to do a remote with this kid.
Yeah. You're going to just beat him down again, aren't you?
No, I didn't. I really didn't beat him down. You know, see, I said that more as a kind of a cynical joke.
Yeah, but you believe that.
To a certain extent, I do, but I think it's also possible to be more positive than
Don't
I
you know
have been.
people that have had a lot of crappy things happen and they still manage to? It's possible.
I've had lots and lots and lots of crappy things happen to me, and I'm still basically mostly positive, for the most part. For the most part.
I give this kid 6 months in radio, and he changes his mind about positivity.
Kerry, maybe he'll change radio.
I don't know.
Maybe he'll be.
Really?
No, I don't know as he. I don't know as he wants to be in radio. He's just doing this as a, he thought it would be interesting. I think he wants to develop this DJ business more and more. I think he's coming after the best DJ in Utah. That's what I think.
Even if he's not pursuing a career in radio, being involved with radio just long enough, will do it.
It can hurt.
It'll get you.
It can hurt you.
I can point to the number of bodies who were just adjacent to radio.
Cynical, broken human beings.
Yep.
Crash southbound US 89, 1400 north in Farmington. Crash northbound I-15 in Kaysville. I think this is where the car hit a deer, maybe.
We're hearing that the deer is deceased.
It's probably best, actually.
Yes.
Crash northbound I-15 at milepost 277 in American Fork. And looks like that's about it. Of course, if you see something in the road, alive or dead, let us know, 33986.
All right, thank you very much. Bill Frost talking TV coming up after these. Stand by. KXRK Provo.
Here at X96, we're not going to pretend that we're the smartest people in the room or the world. I mean, come on. We get paid to goof off on the radio. Doesn't take a lot of brain cells to do that. Anyway, we do know one thing, and that's the fact that you've told us that you love nonstop music. So, we give you a 1-hour nonstop music wingding every day at 10 a.m., right after Radio from Hell, 1 p.m. in the middle of the workday, because you're boss, and at 4:30 for your drive home. X96.
So we flew all Nippon Airlines?
Mm-hmm.
And
you're saying it wrong.
Am I saying? I'm probably saying it wrong.
And how was Nippon Airlines?
You remember when you used to fly and you got a meal?
Yeah.
Maybe 2?
Mm-hmm. And you were treated nicely?
You were treated nicely. You got
It was a special experience?
actual silverware. Let me show you.
Yeah.
You have a picture of actual silverware?
No, I've got actual
He's got
silverware.
it with him.
You stole it? Shh. Carrie.
They're our allies, Gina.
Yes,
It's okay.
Look at that. Actual metal. You believe that? All Nippon Airlines right there. A&A on the thing. So and they're little, So,
They're cute,
but you could do some damage with this. You could, but they don't have those concerns. This is the theme music for All Nippon Airways.
Is that was playing while
you're
being
boarding?
seated? Yeah.
While you're boarding,
It's lovely,
isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very nice. So anyway, it was amazing. Flying was actually pleasant.
And you know why that is? Because those countries, Carrie, are this close to being communist.
Oh, really?
Well,
if that's the case, we could learn from them.
The government subsidizes the airlines quite heavily in most other countries.
How about that? Maybe that's something that should be looked at, because everywhere I went throughout Tokyo and Seoul and Busan, the streets were clean. People had jobs. It was such.
They seemed happy.
They seemed happy. But I had a wonderful time. Just here it is. And this was
you want to go back?
This
don't
was
you?
this was on a loop, and you know how my earworm is.
It stayed with you.
da da.
Oh, you do? You know the tune?
Yes. Because it would not stop. It just kept playing over and over. It's the only unpleasant experience about flying on ANA. It's the only thing.
Yeah, get unlimited 1.5% cash back plus a $100 bonus with Power Cashback credit card from Security Service Federal Credit Union. Restrictions apply. Get details at ssfcu.org.
Well, here he is, Bill Frost. He's the TV guy who's been in Mexico, and he's a changed man.
Do they have TV in Mexico?
They do.
Did you watch it?
What do you,
Oh, it's some, yeah.
What do you mean, do they have TV in Mexico? What do you think, is it a third world country?
Oh, I just wondered if he watched TV on his vacation, that's all.
Plenty of TV in
Watched a
Mexico.
little.
Those Mexican telenovelas, those?
How long were you in Mexico, Bill?
A week.
Was it fun?
It was fun, yeah, definitely fun, yeah.
Yeah, good.
A place called Todos Santos, about an hour south of Cabo.
Oh.
Yeah, sounds lovely.
It was.
Just you and the missus?
Yes.
Man, that's nice.
Yeah.
So now you're here. Now you're going to talk about TV. You can find all things Frost at billfrost.tv. TV.
Yeah.
That's weird.
It's not if he's talking TV. It
It was an
actually
easy
makes
one to get.
perfect sense.
You can find the TV Tan podcast. You can find Magda Vegas stuff. And
Content Shifter.
Yeah.
And, Slug Magazine stuff.
Yeah.
So tonight, you might remember The Night Manager from last year. An espionage thriller. It
was supposed to be really, really good.
It was quite good. Starred Hugh Laurie.
Oh, yeah, that one. I watched that.
Yeah.
Loki was in it.
Yes, also he was in it.
Yeah.
There's the John Le Carré. He's a best-selling spy novelist.
Mhm. Yeah.
They've adapted another one of his stories. This time it's The Little Drummer Girl. It's on AMC tonight. 6-part miniseries airing tonight, tomorrow, and Wednesday. This is about a young actress who becomes swept up in an international spy conspiracy.
And intrigue.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you say, how does that happen? Well, she gets conned by Alexander Skarsgård.
Oh,
Well, of course.
man.
He's the one to do it.
He's the one who's going to make you do it. Yeah.
He's tricky.
Yeah.
He's crafty.
And also on the trail
He's
is
a
Michael.
vampire.
Also on the trail is Michael Shannon.
Oh.
This is set in the 70s, so Michael Shannon has a very sweet mustache.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Just for that alone, this is worth checking out.
We got halfway through The Shape of Water over the weekend.
Oh.
And we stopped it right as the fish man escapes. But Michael Shannon's a bastard in that.
Yes, he is.
He's just a total bastard.
Yeah, so if you like that, if you like The Night Manager, this is more of that. It's set in the 70s,
It's
though.
also been a movie, hasn't it?
I think it might have been,
Yeah.
yes.
I think The Night Manager was too. But
Coming up tomorrow on Netflix, Trevor Noah has a new stand-up special, Son of Patricia.
Son of Patricia.
Yeah, so if you want to see him up from a desk and not wearing a suit.
But doing the same thing, kind of?
he adores his mother. So.
Yeah, not talking so much politics.
His mom got shot in the face.
Recently?
No, a long time
When he
ago.
was a kid.
Yeah, she was a.
It's a whole story.
I know he was South African.
She's a beautiful woman, apparently, and she said when she got shot in the face, she said, "Now you're the most beautiful one in the family."
Aww.
He's got a book about his life. Pretty interesting, I understand.
On Thursday, Thanksgiving. It's a Thanksgiving miracle. New season of Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Is that what you're going to be doing?
They're doing Mac and Me, Gina.
Yeah, this is the
terrible.
This is the reboot on Netflix, starring Jonah Ray and Felicia Day and
Patton
I
Oswalt.
didn't like that. I watched another one of those. I just didn't like it as well as the original.
There were some that I really enjoyed, and some are like, eh.
Yeah, it's just like the original.
Yeah, it's only 6 episodes this time around instead of like they did 14 in that reboot.
Yeah,
That
they did like 13 or something like that.
Yeah, that was a bit
Is this
much.
the only ones they're doing, or are they holding back some episodes?
I think this is it for season 2 or season 12 if you're being a purist. Yeah, Ator the Fighting Eagle is one of them, which I think I've seen that one, minus commentary.
You mean as an actual movie?
Yeah, it's not good.
No.
Well, I've seen Mac and Me as a.
I was going to say
movie.
that's the only one I recognize.
Yeah, Mac and Me is in here. Atlantic Rim, which is one of these
which
recent,
is not Pacific Rim.
No, it's one of these recent mockbusters
Yeah.
where they make a cheap version that
Yeah.
sounds almost similar to it, and you
Mhm.
get tricked into watching it. Lords of the Deep, The Day Time Ended, and Killer Fish. These all sound
Daytime ended.
Daytime Ended. Yes,
Sounds familiar, but it's supposed to sound familiar.
Oh yeah. And coming up on Friday, Jim Gaffigan has a new stand-up special. Shockingly, not on Netflix. He's the one guy who's not on Netflix. Comedy Central, called Noble Ape.
Okay.
And he's coming to town, I think.
I wouldn't doubt it.
It seems like he's
December.
always coming to
Yeah.
town. Yeah. And this where he talks about his wife's brain cancer.
Oh.
So wackiness ensues.
Yeah.
And coming up on Sunday, Gina,
Yeah?
you might be interested in this.
What's that?
On Bravo, of all
Yes.
places, Dirty John.
Oh, yes, I am interested.
Why?
'Cause-
What's that?
Well,
Based on a true crime podcast.
And it's got Eric Bana in it, who I love.
And Connie Britton.
What is it?
It
it's
sounds
a
like
true
a
story.
sounds like a Lifetime movie to me.
He's like he dupes women. He's a duper.
He's a handsome con man.
He's a handsome.
Oh.
It was a really popular podcast.
30 million downloads.
Yeah.
That's almost as many as mine.
Very close.
Yeah. And a lot of people I know at work. There's a Slack channel discussing podcasts, and they say, "What are you listening to?" And without fail, it's always a true crime murder podcast. So I just kind of bow out because
Because you don't care about those things.
The white ladies are gonna talk now.
White ladies love murder stories.
Yes, they do.
They just do.
And so they're all at Twitter about this one.
I don't usually listen to those kind of podcasts.
Neither do I.
The storytelling ones.
Yeah.
I'll listen.
You
to
didn't listen to Serial? You haven't listened to
No,
any?
I listen to the news ones.
S-Town? You didn't listen to?
I did. The only one I have listened to is that Wolverine one.
I've been re-listening to S-Town. I liked it so much. It
So
is.
good.
You would like it. S-Town. It's only 8 episodes, 10 episodes, and it's so good. I'm just in the process of re-listening to it.
So there's a true crime podcast about Wolverine.
Yeah, well, it's a storytelling podcast. But it was true. It happened.
Okay. Yeah.
It actually happened. There was a cult up in Alaska. There was a whole thing.
It's really true.
Okay, I'm interested. All right.
Really honestly true.
Okay.
Just watched over the weekend the Kaminsky Method. Is that what it's called?
What's that?
It's Michael Douglas and Alan Arkin.
Okay.
Alan Arkin.
Alan Arkin.
I haven't seen him for a long time.
And it's only like 8 episodes. But Alan Arkin plays this old Hollywood agent, and Michael Douglas plays one of his clients who teaches acting lessons.
Oh.
And it's just kind of their adventures in getting old, you know. So there's a lot of peeing jokes.
Yeah. Is it good?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Where is this at?
It's on Netflix.
Oh, of course, Netflix.
Yeah.
There's too many shows.
Anybody can get a show
Sure.
on Netflix. Yeah.
You liked it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Alan Arkin is...
Here's the thing.
He can be great.
He's very good in this. He's just kind of behaving. You know, he's not playing a character necessarily. But what we realized was that, you know, Michael Douglas looks really good.
He's had good plastic surgery.
For his age. Has he had
has he had plastic surgery?
Okay.
But you can tell it's good plastic surgery because he doesn't look like
You saw Liberace.
Yes.
You saw.
Because they aged him up for Ant-Man and the Wasp for some reason. They made him look a lot older. I was expecting that Michael Douglas on this show. And no, here's...
Yeah, my big Netflix recommendation is The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
I need to get around
Really
to that
good.
one.
My wife and daughter are watching that.
Missy from Doctor Who is in it.
Mm-hmm.
And she's really, really evil. Yeah, really good.
And it's Satan worship.
Oh, yeah, it's very Satan-y.
It's all out Satan-y.
I'm surprised there's not more moral outrage about it from parental watchdog groups.
There should be.
Get on it.
There is. Satan is just keeping it suppressed.
Okay.
That's it, because he controls the media.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay.
All right. Well, thank you, Bill Frost.
Traffic. We've got crash southbound US 89, 1400 north in Farmington. Crash northbound I-15, milepost 326 in Kaysville. And those are the only accidents being reported. You can report one if you see one. I mean, don't report it if you don't, but if you do, 33986. Haster Games has the best selection of the latest board games, Magic the Gathering, Dungeons and Dragons, and more. It's a great place to stay and play. Remember, Haster has it 6831 South State and online at hastergames.com.
Oh, somebody's yelling the Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Yes, I did see that.
Is that on Netflix?
Yeah,
Coen Brothers.
Yeah, it's available now. It's like 10 short.
It's 6.
6?
It's 6 short stories. Yeah,
the Coen Brothers.
It was meant to be a 6-episode series, but they decided we'll just make it a movie with vignettes.
And it's been released in theaters as well. I
Yes,
believe,
it's a Western.
Yeah.
It's very funny and also very dark.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Boners round 2 coming up. Boner candidate number 1. How did you find me? Boner candidate number 2. Well, we might as well call this the Blue Dart Championships. And boner candidate number 3. Hot air balloon loaded with fireworks. What could go wrong?
All right. We got round 2 of your boners along with big boy news and a Pinuendo all coming up. Stand by for that. BigOTires.com.
I was telling you on Friday, my little tire indicator light went on.
Because it's that time of year.
I pull up to Big O Tires. The nice lady comes out. She's like, "Don't get out of your car, Gina. We can fill up your tires."
Remain seated, Gina.
It was perfect. I didn't get out of my car. The nice man came and filled my tires up and sent me on my way because I bought my snow tires there.
Big O Tires Black Friday sale going through the 26th of November. Get $190 off Michelin or BF Goodrich tires. Or you can buy 3 and get 1 free on select sets of tires. Or snow tires starting at just $49.95. Or, Big O Tires has no credit needed financing available. So no matter what your budget, your situation, they can finance tailored to you. Big O Tires, more than just tires. You can go over oil changes, wiper blades, all of that. They are the team you trust. 40 locations. Go to BigOTires.com to find a location near you.
Hey, party people, I'm John Smith.
Sensuous. Sensuous. Spell it with me now. S-E-N-S-U-O-U-S. And now we'll use it in some dialogue between our two Utah friends, Levar and LeGrande. Elder LeGrande our Dunn is on the roof of his lovely West Valley bungalow installing some new shingles. His friend Levar is down below on the porch having a nice cold glass of root beer. Again, the word is sensuous. Looks like you're doing a bang-up job with them shingles, LeGrande. That hole's being patched up just fine.
Well, I got to get this done before the snow flies. I don't want no leaking on my food storage room again this winter.
Well, if you don't want no leaking in the food storage, then you should keep LeGrande Jr. out of there.
What?
Nothing. Looks like it's kind of hot up there, LeGrande.
Yep. I'm as hot up here as a tin roof cat house.
You're what?
Nothing. Hey, what's that you're drinking down there?
Rut beer. Nice, ice-cold rut beer. Bet you could use some up there.
I could for sure. I'm as hot as a hot dog with mustard and relish.
Well, say, that's pretty hot. Bet you a nice cold Fanta root beer would sure go down good about now.
Yep, I'm really hot, Levar. I'm so hot that if you was to, hold an old dry Christmas tree next to me, it would just go up like a match.
What?
I'm a hot tamale, Levar.
Well, that's hot. Hot for sure. Bet you could use a cold drink. Some Fanta root beer, maybe. Like the one I'm sitting here in the chaise lounge drinking right now.
Yep. I'm a firecracker, Levar.
Why would you say that, LeGrande?
Never mind. I think maybe I'll just get down. You know, climb all the way down the ladder and go all the way into the kitchen and maybe get myself a sandwich and a cold drink.
What? Cold drink like a rut beer?
Maybe.
Well, what kind of sandwich would you get?
Pickled egg and tuna. Why?
Well, I was thinking that since you was getting down the ladder and going into the house, since you was doing that, maybe you could get me a sandwich as well and another nice cold root beer too? Since you was already thinking about going.
Look out below!
LeGrande, I was nearly... That flat of shingles nearly hit me. You should be more careful. That was an accident, wasn't it, LeGrande?
Part of the Radio from Hell show on X96. Call 877-602-9696 or text us at 33986. Message and data rates apply.
All right, 8:19 right now. Time for round 2 of your boner voting. Presenting to you now 3 news stories. They are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior. Boner means mistake. You'll listen to them. You'll consume them. You'll roll them around in your head for a few moments, and then you'll decide of these 3 candidates which one is the worst, which one deserves to go forward to Boner Fight and possibly become Boner of the Day. If it wins here, it's the winner of round 2. Good for you. You're not Boner of the Day yet. You have to defeat the winner of round 1's voting. We did that an hour ago. You missed that. Tune in earlier next time. Get up a little earlier.
What's wrong with you?
We'll throw both of the winner of each round into Boner Fight at 9:20 this morning, and that's when you'll decide Boner of the Day. So, 2 candidates now, a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, then you'll vote.
And that's what you will do.
And that's what you will do.
Yeah, well, sure.
All right.
And?
For the joy of doing it.
Because it's the right thing to do.
Ah. Oh, are we the Boner candidate number 1?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just trying to do something else. Well, okay, let's go to Boner candidate number 1 then, shall we? How did you find me? Boner candidate number 1. Police said that they were able to catch an armed robbery suspect by following his path all the way home because, you see, he had a handgun.
Mm-hmm.
He entered the Pantry Petroleum on Bigler Avenue in Clearfield, Pennsylvania. He demanded money. The employees complied. The man left the store with a sack of cash and walked home in a fresh fallen snow. and the cops came and went, look at that. Tracks. Let's follow him.
They actually tracked him.
In the fresh fallen snow. The officers arrived. They found the suspect was a juvenile sitting there in his living room with a sack of cash and a handgun watching TV. How'd you find me?
What?
Look, they said. Huh,
right
he
to
said.
ya.
Yep, there you go.
Boner candidate number 1. Here's Boner candidate number 2. You know, we might as well call this the Blue Dart Championships. 2 pro darts players. This is a true story. This is a real story from The Guardian. 2 pro dart championship players, or 2 pro dart players, I should say, have accused each other of farting on stage during a match in England this week, casting a cloud of controversy over the heralded tournament. It'll take me 2 nights to get the smell from my nose, Dutch player Wesley Harms fumed.
He fumed, did he?
Yes, he did, after getting blown away 10-2 by Scotland's Gary Anderson at the Grand Slam of Darts in Wolverhampton. Harms chalked up his foul play to a fragrant smell, which he deduced came from the Scotsman's bowels. But Anderson, who has admitted to passing gas during matches in the past, insisted he was innocent of this olfactory offense, The Guardian reported. If that boy thinks I farted, he's 110% wrong, said Anderson, who's ranked the world's number 4 dart player, who moved into the quarterfinals. I swear on my children's lives that it was not my fault. I had a bad stomach once on stage before, and I admitted it. But I'm not going to lie about farting on stage. He continued, usually, if I fart on the stage, I S myself. I've told you that before.
We've discussed this.
We've discussed it in the press. The British press has swooned over the colonic controversy, calling it Fartgate. We've got to the bottom of this, the UK's Professional Darts Corporation chairman Barney Hearn quipped, according to the BBC. Something doesn't smell quite right about this. Boner candidate number 2, you know, we might just as well call this the Blue Dart Championship. Coming up in a moment, Boner candidate number 3, hot air balloon loaded with fireworks. What could go wrong?
All right. We got Boner candidate number 3 for round 2 coming up after this big boy news and a Pinuendo. Full strength news, by the way.
Oh, boy.
Brought to you by.
Come and make your mark on fondue history by trying out the new cast iron grill cooking style available at the Melting Pot, locally owned and operated. You can get reservations at meltingpot.com/Salt Lake.
By the way, I'm sorry these Boner candidates are so political today.
I know, so political.
Well,
are you on the Blue Dart Party? Is that?
Well, sorry, I'm going through the British press today, and scientists say this is from the excuse me, the BBC. Scientists say that they have uncovered how and why wombats
Wombats.
I wish I just got this story, so I don't think Dylan has a picture of this cute little wombat. They're just sweet, cute, cuddly looking little animals. Scientists say that they have uncovered how and why wombats produce cube-shaped poop.
Wait a minute, really?
The only species known to do so.
I really don't want to Google wombat poop, but...
Well, do it. The Australian marsupial can pass up to 100 deposits of poop a night, and they use the pellets to mark their territory.
Wombat poop cube.
Yeah.
There we go.
And the shape helps the poop.
They are.
Yeah.
It's like dog food.
Is Wombat Poop Cube playing any
the shape
event?
Helps it to stop rolling away. Despite having round... So the wombat has a round anus just like any other animal.
So
mammal.
how does it... How?
Wombats do not produce round pellets, tubular coils, or messy piles. Researchers revealed on Sunday the varied elasticity of the intestines helped to sculpt the poop into cubes.
He sculpted.
The first thing that drove me to this is that I have never seen anything this weird in biology. That was a mystery, Georgia Institute of Technology Patricia Yang said. After studying the digestive tracts of wombats put down after road accidents in Tasmania, a team led by Ms. Yang presented its findings at the American Physical Society Division of Fluid Dynamics annual meeting in Atlanta. The American Physical Society Division of Fluid Dynamics annual meetings, they get very heated. Last year, there were 3 people almost critically injured in a fight that took place.
It's Poop Chat on X96 Radio from Hell.
We opened up those intestines like it was Christmas, said co-author David Hugh from Georgia Tech. The team compared the wombat intestines to pig intestines by inserting a balloon into the animal's digestive tracts to see how it stretched to fit the balloon. In wombats, the feces changed from a liquid-like state into a solid state in the last 25% of the intestines. But then in the final 8%, a varied elasticity of the walls meant that the poop would take shape as separated cubes.
They use their poop to communicate. The more poop that's compiled in one place, the better chance to attract other wombats.
Look
Look
at that pile, huh? Look at all those cubes, buddy.
We're talking poop on X96 Radio from Hell.
This, the scientists explain, resulted in cube-shaped poops unique to wombats and the natural world. The marsupial then stacks the cubes, the higher the better, so as to communicate with and attract other wombats. We currently have only 2 methods to manufacture cubes. We mold it or we cut it. Now we have this third method, Ms. Yang said. It would be a cool method to apply to the manufacturing process, she said, how to make a cube with soft tissues instead of just molding it.
Did you make today? Did you make poo-poos? Any poo-poos? 'Cause that's poison in the body, you know.
Equality Utah. This weekend, the movie Boy Erased, by the way, hit the big screens. And LGBTQ advocates in Utah, if they have their way, efforts to change a minor's sexual orientation from homosexual to heterosexual, commonly called conversion therapy, will become illegal in Utah.
Good.
Some states have passed laws to make it illegal. A just-published survey provides supporting evidence of the need. We have a piece of legislation on this that we've drafted, said Equality Utah Executive Director Troy Williams, and it includes concerns about suicide of gay youth. Utah then would join more than a dozen states and the District of Columbia in outlawing conversion therapy for minors. The Equality Utah is lobbying the Utah State Legislature.
Good. Let's make it happen.
That Boy Erased movie is all about that.
Of the 71 inmates who died in county jails in Utah from 2013 to 2017, more than half took their own lives. And nearly half of all deaths occurred within the first 7 days behind bars. The Utah Commission on Criminal and Juvenile Justice reported those numbers of state lawmakers this week under a new law that requires it to gather statistics on jail and prison deaths. The report also showed 20 state prison inmates died in 2017. That's 20. The only year for which the law required reporting, only 2 of those deaths were suicide. What's striking in the report is the amount of suicides and when they occur. They occur the day of or within the first week of incarceration, said Kim Cordova, Commission Executive Director and Ed Brass's former law partner. The report found 38 of the 71 jail deaths were suicide. 31 of all deaths happened in the first week, 6 on the first day of incarceration. Of the remainder, 16 were due to illness, 4 from alcohol or drug intoxication, 1 accident, 12 were listed as other or unknown. A judge has ruled that John Hinckley Jr., the man who shot President Reagan in the early 80s, can move out of his mother's house in Virginia. Hinckley is now 63. He will be allowed to live within 75 miles of his mother's house. Now in the gated community of Williamsburg. If he decides to move away from his mother, who's now in her 90s, Hinckley needs approval from his doctors. He was confined for decades to St. Elizabeth's Hospital in Washington, D.C., after trying to assassinate Reagan in the city in 81. Hinckley had gone, I like the way the New York Post, Hinckley had gone crazy before the shooting and later said he shot Reagan to impress Jodie Foster. He was found not guilty by reason of insanity for the attempted assassination. Donald Trump says he hasn't listened to the Khashoggi tape, the tape of his murder, and he doesn't want to listen to it. He won't listen to it because he says, I don't have to listen to the vicious recording because I've been briefed on it. It's a terrible tape. I've been fully briefed on it. There's no reason for me to hear it. In fact, I said to the people, should I? I said to the people.
To the people.
Should I? They said, oh, you really shouldn't. There's no reason. I know exactly. I know everything that went on in the tape without having to hear it. It was very violent, very vicious, and terrible. The president also said Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman has assured him that he wasn't involved in the journalist's death.
If he says so, that's
Despite
all
news reports saying the CIA has concluded that the royal king ordered the killing. Well, he tells me he didn't.
That's good enough.
Well, he told me that he had nothing to do with it. He told me that I would say maybe 5 or 6. He told me that I would say maybe 5 times at different points.
Because it works for Trump.
Yeah.
When he does things and just says,
I didn't do it.
I didn't do it. In his mind, it never happened.
Well, will anybody really know? All right, well, anybody really know? But he did have certainly people that were reasonably close to him and close to him that were probably involved. But at the same time, we do have an ally, and I want to stick with an ally that in many ways has been very good.
And see, Turkey is threatening to blow this whole thing up.
Unless we give the president of Turkey another U.S. citizen.
Yeah, this is all happening in
Turkey,
America.
Unless we give Turkey, the president of Turkey, another U.S. citizen that they will kill.
See,
Turkey
says they have enough evidence to prove that this guy from Saudi Arabia did it. Turkey said, and they say, well, what if we give you this guy that the Mike Flynn was trying to kidnap? That guy. What if we give you this guy? Well, then we'll back off, and then the Saudis can get away with it, and everything will be fine. So we'll sacrifice
another guy.
Another guy.
Oh,
an American. Well, I don't know if he's got a green card. So
I don't.
Yeah. But yeah. That's the America that we're living in. And people said I was crazy before the election, telling you that this kind of stuff would happen. They said I was crazy.
Well, you're crazy, but not because of that.
Yeah.
It's just. I'll look up that. I have a story here somewhere about that. The guy that Turkey wants.
You know the canned pumpkin, not actually pumpkin.
I knew that.
What?
It's a lie.
Yeah.
That's not true. It's pure, Libby's pure pumpkin puree.
Even those that advertise 100% pumpkin, actually made from a range of squashes.
Mm-hmm.
Just going into Thanksgiving, I want you to...
All right, fine. It's been 5 years since The Office ended its run on NBC, and questions about a reboot are never far from minds when members of the cast are in the public eye. I guess Steve Carell hosted an episode of Saturday Night Live. I don't get to see that because Channel 5 still...
Move to Xfinity, Bill.
Well, I'm afraid I'm going to have to. Channel 5 will never be back on DirecTV.
You don't think?
No. Because how many years has it been since they haven't shown the youth football games are on...
Xfinity.
They're no
Pac-12 network.
And DirecTV has never come to any agreement with to show the Pac-12 network either. Never. They never will, and they'll never show Channel 5 again either. Anyway, he took the opportunity to. I guess it was the beginning of the show. During the monologue, there were members of the Office cast in the audience. Demanding, and even Steve Carell's wife, who was on The Office, I guess, for an episode or two.
Yeah, she was also on The Daily Show.
They stood up and said, "Come on, Steve, why? How come you're holding out? You're the only one who hasn't wanted to do a reboot. If you want to do a reboot, they'll do it." Well, I don't know. And, he hemmed and hawed, and his wife stood up and said, "Look, we don't need you around the house anymore." And his kids were there and stood up and said, "Yeah, Dad, we don't need you around the house anymore. Do a reboot."
Yeah, but you know what? I was disappointed in this. I thought it would
I was happy to see Steve Carell trying to be funny again.
But skit after skit was just not funny.
Disappointing.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it his fault or was it the writing?
I think it was the writing.
Carrie had a theory that he went in and said, "I'm not doing a skit about The Office, and I'm not doing a skit about Anchorman, and I'm not doing a skit about." And
so what have you got? That's just my theory.
Because I saw the promo where he was practicing to be funny again, and I thought that was pretty good.
Sports weather traffic.
Go Utes and the Aggies, and I suppose the Cougars. Everybody won this weekend.
That's great.
So,
Weber State.
And Weber State, yeah. And Alex Smith, do not watch the video of Alex Smith getting his leg broken in 2 places.
Ooh, there's a video?
Oh, yes.
Let's watch it.
No, don't watch it. But Colin Kaepernick's like, I'm ready, which would be beautiful, come full circle thing. Because, when Alex Smith got a concussion and Colin Kaepernick came in, it would be poetic.
I bet it doesn't.
No, because it's the Washington Redskins, and they're extra racist there. So that's sports. Weather, it's chilly and will warm up to about 47 and sunny today. Traffic, let me refresh my UDOT website and see what we have there, and nothing new, although the cameras look pretty red. Northbound I-15 coming around pointing the mountain into the Draper Sandy area. I don't know if that's just from regular slowage or if there's an accident involved, but that's the only problem area I see. You can send us something if you see it, 33986. Don't miss huge Big O Black Friday savings November through the 26th. Save up to $150 off a set of Big O brand tires, or buy 3, get 1 free on select tires. Big O, the team you trust.
Here's boner candidate number 3. Hot air balloon loaded with fireworks. What could go wrong? An exploding hot air balloon fell 300 feet onto a crowd of spectators during the Festival of Lights in Myanmar. It was packed with pyrotechnics and exploded over a crowd during the popular festival, sending revelers running for cover.
There's video at x96.com/live.
The frightening scene unfolded November 14th during the Festival of Lights, an annual celebration that marks the end of the wet season in Myanmar. According to local media reports, festival organizers invite participants to launch unmanned balloons full of fireworks to usher in the new season. One of those balloons burst into flames during Wednesday's festival.
Jeez.
Video shot by a spectator showed the balloon slowly ascending while fireworks shoot from its sides. In an instant, the balloon explodes, sending fireworks shooting toward the ground as the balloon comes crashing down toward the crowd. At least 9 people were injured in the incident. Festival organizers told the BBC this particular explosion was not fatal. Similar incidents in the past have reportedly resulted in multiple fatalities. And yet, they continue. Hot air balloon loaded with fireworks. What could possibly go wrong? A boner candidate number 3.
All right, so there you go. Let's review the first two and vote.
Boner candidate number 1, how'd you find me? Police tracking down a juvenile robbery suspect by following his footsteps in the snow. Boner candidate number 2, well, we might as well call this the Blue Dart Championship. Something doesn't smell right. Farting controversy clouding the darts championships. And boner candidate number 3, a hot air balloon loaded with fireworks. What could possibly go wrong?
All right, there you go. It's round 2 of your boner voting. You've got to decide, of these 3 candidates, which one is the worst. Which one deserves to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day. If it wins here, it'll go up against the winner of round 1. We did that an hour ago. So pick your champion for round 2 to go forward to battle. 1, 2, or 3. Remember your candidate number. The one you want to win, put that number in the message of a text, and then text that to 33986. That's all we need in the message of the text is that single digit. That's the way the computer counts it. So if you want your vote to count, do it correctly. All right? You can call 877-602-9696. Cynthia will take your vote in the producer's booth. You can go to x96.com and vote online. Look for the box that says Boner Voting November 19 and vote there. Better hurry, though. You only got 4 minutes. Let's go. This is round 2.
The music starts when Radio from Hell ends. A 1-hour non-stop music wingding starts at 10 a.m. X96.
It is the 23rd century. Humans have left the lowly confines of planet Earth and have sought their destiny among the stars. While many things have changed, one constant remains: the need for young men to venture forth and do the work of the Lord. This is the tale of 2 such men who at the age of 19 have answered the call of their general authorities and are embarking on a 2-year mission to spread the gospel throughout the galaxy. This is the story of Space Elders! Today, we find our beloved missionaries knocking on the door of a sand crawler on Tatooine.
Man, this thing is huge. Who ever heard of a camper being 100 feet long and nearly 60 feet tall?
Well, it's not really a camper. It's more like a mobile home. An entire tribe of Jawas call this sand crawler their home.
Well, I guess we better introduce ourselves before they decide to move on.
Hi there. I'm Elder Christiansen, and this is Elder Jensen. Hi. We represent the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
You know, the Mormons.
And we was wondering if you had heard of our church and if you'd like to know more about it.
Lehigh, I think my universal translator in my name badge is broken. Could you tell me what the little guy said?
Well, I didn't understand him either. Oh no, our translators must not be programmed for Jawa. Now we'll never be able to bring them our message of salvation.
Excuse me, sir. Perhaps I could be of some assistance.
And I suppose that you speak Jawa.
I am a protocol droid, programmed in over 3 million forms of communication.
And I suppose that one of those over 3 million forms of communication is Jawa?
Oh, Jawa's like a second language to me. You be quiet, R2. I do speak Jawa like a native.
Well, then, if you wouldn't mind, could you tell us what they're saying? Talk to them.
Utna Bak Chala Elders? He says that they want your hyperbikes.
Well, you tell him that we need them to do our missionary work and that we would really need to be going soon, too.
Kala Chuk Nagda Zulatem, Elders Lokta Nimboshan. Oh my.
What did he say?
He says that they will join your church in exchange for the hyperbikes, and they want to keep your name badges too.
They want eternal salvation and our hyperbikes?
Cool. They get our bikes and we get our first converts. What a deal. I mean, there must be 200, maybe 300 Jawas on board this piece of junk. I mean, we could convert them all.
Butch, those hyperbikes don't belong to us. They belong to the church.
And so will the Jawas after we baptize them.
Could this be it? Converts for Elders Christiansen and Jensen at last? Would the church frown on bartering for membership? And how many Jawas can you convert for a pair of Mark 32 hyperbikes with custom fender flares and luggage racks? Tune in next time to hear Lehigh say... No, and that is final. Now, Mr. 3PO, if you would just kindly ask the Jawas to give back our name badges, we'll be on our way.
Well, all right. What if I give them my luggage rack and fender flares, and we just baptize, a couple of them?
No! That is your big problem, Butch. You always try to do things the easy way.
Oh, yeah? Well, listen to this. I've been letting you win at Scripture Chase.
On the next growth-stunting episode of Space Elders!
Kerry Jackson.
I got Geek News coming up.
All right.
In just a moment. Also awarding the boner coming up, but
Yeah.
First, quickly.
Yeah, Zero Res, we're collecting food for the food bank Wednesday at Teleperformance. Zero Res is also collecting food all this month. If you call them and have them come and clean your carpets, get some cans of food ready, non-perishable items for the food bank.
They'll take it for you.
Yeah, and then so here's what happens: they will clean 3 rooms for $99 and give you a 4th room cleaned for free with your donation to the food bank. Restrictions apply, so make sure you call them for details. That's Zero Res. They have perfected carpet cleaning, and they are just the greatest. And they clean tile, and they clean countertops and all of that stuff. They've got the Gotta Love It guarantee, a 30-day guarantee on price, service, and time. If you're not satisfied with Zero Res cleaning, give them a call and they'll make it right. So schedule your cleaning before the end of November. Have a food donation ready for the food bank, and they'll give you the room of carpet cleaned for free. Call 801-2880. That's 2880, or online at zeroressaltlake.com.
All right, time to award round 2 of your boner voting.
And round 2 is brought to you
completely
by baked sweet potatoes.
Nice.
So we had boner candidate number 1. How did you find me? That's the guy who robbed the convenience store and he was just a kid, and he got a bag of money, and then he walked to his home with the bag of money through the snow, and the police followed his footprints in the snow. And
the easiest case ever.
Absolutely easy. Boner candidate number 2. Well, you might as well call this the Blue Dart Championships. Something doesn't smell right. Farting controversy erupts at the darts championship in England. The competitor, the Dutch competitor, who lost, charging the winner, the Scotsman, of farting so bad he couldn't. He said, "I can't get the smell out of my nose. It just took me off my game." And boner candidate number 3, hot air balloon loaded with fireworks. What could go wrong? Well, just about everything went wrong in Myanmar. Several people injured at this balloon festival. Hunter won something. Was it a boner T-shirt? I guess so. And the winner.
I don't think there was a
prize.
prize.
There was no prize.
There was no prize. Maybe we have an extra. I don't know.
Well, then.
It's up to them.
Okay. And then the winner was boner candidate number 1. How did you find me?
Thank you. All right. That's your winner of round 2's voting. It now goes forward to Boner Fights. It goes up against the winner of round 1. 9:20 is when that's decided. That's when you'll decide Boner of the Day.
Geek News on the Radio, Carrie. It's always brought to you by Cabin Fever, serving the Wasatch Front for 35 years. They want to take a moment in this month of giving thanks to say thank you for your continued support. Located in Trolley Square, the corner of 5th South, 7th East. Cabin Fever, so much more than a geek store.
All right, brand new episode of GeekShowPodcast.com available now. It's called Goodnight Stan.
Oh, is it sad?
Yeah, a little bit. We didn't get a chance to do our rest in peace Stan, raise a glass to him because we found out about it after we put the show to bed last week. So, all right, that's a good one. Oh, and star-studded. It's got Sarah Silverman, Jimmy interviewing Sarah Silverman, John C. Reilly, a whole bunch of people.
Wow.
Famous people. Star-studded. Just in. Remember I've been telling you about this PG-13 version of Deadpool 2?
Yes, my youngest son is anxiously awaiting this.
We got a trailer. It's not called The Deadpool Before Christmas. It's called Once Upon a Deadpool. And we got the trailer this morning.
Coming to theaters with his new sidekick, Fred.
This is Fred Savage, Princess Bride.
Why am I here? You're in a PG-13 version of Deadpool, filtered through the prism of childlike innocence. I'm a grown
And nobody
man.
does childlike innocence like you, Fred. Nobody. I need you almost as much as you need me.
I don't need you at all.
You need me to untie you once we're done.
So that's the conceit, is that Deadpool has kidnapped Fred Savage.
I loved your working up. I'm sorry? Don't get too attached.
And is making and is reading him.
Marvel movies.
Yeah.
We are Marvel. Yeah, but you're, Marvel licensed by Fox. It's like if the Beatles were produced by Nickelback. It's music, but it sucks.
You were nicer as a kid.
Rated PG-13. Limited engagement in theaters December 12th.
So there you go, your PG version of Deadpool. He kidnaps Fred Savage, and then, like Princess Bride, reads him the PG-13 version.
This is good. I mean, he's wanted to see Deadpool, and I'm like, absolutely not. You may not see that, but now we can see this.
So this is a blessing
Yes.
and a curse at the same time. It's because once you expose him to Deadpool, he'll
find the other one.
He'll want to explore it, and there you go. Let's see now. John Williams, the composer who writes the music for most of the Star Wars movies. He sat out the Han Solo movie like most of you all did, and you're regretting it now.
I didn't. I was in.
All right. But Disney on Saturday revealed that the composer, John Williams, has created a new score for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, the theme park. He's written music for the theme park.
That'll just play over the speakers? Or
that they will just use in various... And if you go online right now, you can see how far they've come on the park, because they fly a drone around the whole thing. It looks pretty big. That's tricky.
There's not a lot of space there.
But you can go and find the footage. It's the London Symphony Orchestra recording the theme in a studio, and some of the park's attractions that are under construction. Sounds John Williams-y.
And it sounds Star Wars-y. I picture Star Wars when I hear this.
And, of course, that opens up in the fall of 2019. There you go. Orange section. So it's all coming together. You're getting a Star Wars land. I will not go when it opens.
How long will you wait?
I will wait 8 months.
I'm going to wait till I'm a kid again.
Till your next go around.
Till your next go around. Yeah, because it's just going to be crowded as hell. Let's see. This is interesting. Because, Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., that TV series, has always been on the verge of being canceled.
Right.
Always on the verge of being canceled. So even the writers were prepared for it to be canceled, and they finished season 5 with, here's your ending.
But no.
And then they said, oh, wait, we'd like season 6, if you don't mind. So season 6 is coming. It's I think in January. Let me see. No, summer of 2019. Well, they haven't even finished season 6 yet. They're filming. they said, "Oh, could you get season 7 together?"
Really? All right.
Weird, right?
Yeah.
I think this is just my gut. I think it's because Captain Marvel is coming, and S.H.I.E.L.D. is again a thing.
So they are anticipating renewed interest?
I think they're hoping to catch some of that heat. Because they'll go, "Hey, you liked Captain Marvel. S.H.I.E.L.D.'s in that. We've got S.H.I.E.L.D. See?
Okay. So they can just put a Band-Aid on it till the ending.
Hold it together until Captain Marvel comes out, and then we'll kill it." The Star Wars TV series for that Disney app, The Mandalorian, that Jon Favreau is putting together, they have cast their lead, Pedro Pascal.
Oh, he's very good.
Now, you know who he is.
I don't.
He's the guy that was fighting the Mountain on Game of Thrones.
Oberyn Martell.
Yeah, and you thought that maybe he'd win, but then the Mountain crushed his head.
He was celebrating too soon.
The Mountain crushed his head.
Yeah.
Good actor.
Yeah.
So he is the lead in The Mandalorian. We don't know anything about the show. They're keeping it under wraps. They've also cast in the show, and again, we don't know who she's playing, Gina Carano, the MMA star turned actress. She was in Haywire, Fast and Furious 6, and the first Deadpool movie.
Yeah. The Mandalorian sounds like a car. The all-new Pontiac Mandalorian.
It's going to be a Western type thing, actually. And finally this. Much to Shannon's chagrin, they've cast Lex Luthor to be on the Supergirl TV series.
Why is he upset about this?
I just saw this morning.
Why is he upset about
Because
this?
he wants a badass Lex Luthor. What he wants
is not a badass.
He wants Vincent D'Onofrio as the Kingpin. He wants that kind of Lex Luthor.
But see, this is a pretty good Lex Luthor because he can be a smarmy,
John Cryer.
Yeah.
Ducky.
He can be kind of a smarmy.
From 2.5 Men, that guy is going to be your Lex Luthor. Now, this is not the first time that he has played a Luthor.
Oh?
Don't you remember him as Lenny Luthor?
No.
Lex Luthor's nephew? In Superman 4,
Really?
A Quest for Peace?
No, I don't.
Look it up. It actually happened.
No.
So there you go.
And he's already bald, so that makes it
that
easy.
helps, yeah.
And he's a pretty good actor, too.
Yeah, he can
I
be.
like John. Follow John Cryer on Twitter. He's pretty funny.
Okay.
Do you have traffic, Gene?
Yeah, but, I do follow UDOT on Twitter, and they haven't updated anything in a while.
And their site's been messy today, hasn't it?
So I do see the cameras. They seem to be heavy traffic round Point of the Mountain, northbound I-15 coming into Draper. I don't know if that's related to an accident or just regular morning commute, but it is slowing you down around that area. Other than that, things look pretty smooth. That's
All right.
traffic.
Thank you very much. We will have boner fights coming up. Stand by for that, along with a reasonable amount of news. And Megan Joy stopping by. I got to tell you about my sheets, brooklinen.com. Are you tired of me talking about them? Because
No, it just makes me want to...
Well, you wouldn't be tired of me talking about them if you had them.
Yeah.
Because then you'd know what I'm talking about. And why I was late for work this morning, because I enjoy them so much. My Brooklinen sheets are just terrific. 30,000 five-star reviews, more than any other online bedding company. They're just great. And they're having a great deal right now. The sheets they don't only feel great, but they look great. They wanted me to tell you about the different colors and patterns. Go online and take a look at them. My Brooklinen sheets are the best, most comfortable sheets I've slept on. I couldn't recommend them more if you're looking to treat yourself or a loved one to a bedding upgrade this holiday season. See, a gift. Brooklinen.com has an exclusive holiday event happening this week only. Get up to 20% off site-wide when you shop at brooklinen.com this week only. Shop the biggest Brooklinen sale of the year. Brooklinen is so confident of their products. All their sheets, comforters, towels come with a lifetime warranty. The only way to get 20% off site-wide this week is to go to brooklinen.com this week only. That's BROOKLINEN.com. These really are the best sheets ever.
Radio from Hell has a new podcast.
It's the Radio from Hell Best of Podcast.
Hi, it's me, Richie T,
the producer of the show.
Yeah, and long known maid person who makes people feel uncomfortable.
Yes,
Carrie
we've all been there
for any number of reasons.
Carrie would say HR nightmare.
Just to let you know, because of all that just happened, you have about 2.5 minutes to tell the story.
I met someone last night at the theater who is more uncomfortable than I am, who makes people more uncomfortable than I am. Went and saw Beautiful. First Broadway touring show over at the Eccles Theater. Gorgeous. If you're interested at all in that kind of stuff, it's so great. I went down at intermission to the bathroom.
Well, that's the Carole King show.
Yeah. Down at the in line for the urinal, and the gentleman behind me started talking to me, which is okay. We're in the bathroom. It's kind of, you don't talk in the bathroom, but lots of people do that. They wouldn't make him the most uncomfortable.
It's okay if you're not standing at the urinal. If you're in line, you could talk.
So then he and I, we happen to be urinals next to each other, right? And he continues to talk. Now, people will say my hair, as of late, is a little out of control. It's a little
Mary
unruly.
Claire's worried.
Yeah. To the extent that Gina's mom said, is he okay?
Okay.
I've had several people that have Facebook messaged me saying, are you, but seriously, are you okay?
Yeah, I would just advise you not to go to the zoo until you get a haircut.
I'm standing at the urinal next to the gentleman who I met in line waiting for the urinal. Bill, come here. You're going to be my prop for this.
Oh, God.
On the radio, that's great.
I've got the hair, and I've got product in
tell
my...
HR to be ready.
I've got the product in my hair today. The gentleman reaches over while we're both going to the bathroom and starts playing with the back of my hair. Your hair has such body and bounce. How do you do that? Yeah, while we are both at the urinal using the bathroom.
That's a little much.
Did he give you his phone number?
No. And
did he give you $10?
Should have.
I would have asked him. I would have said, "Excuse me, but that costs $10."
I would have accepted either his phone number or $10.
What did you say?
I said, well, I just...
You're making me a little uncomfortable here.
No, I didn't want to make any sort of production about it as in the moment. I just was like, well, there's a conditioning gel that I use. Zip, turn, wash my hands, and walked away.
And you ought to see what I do with the hair down here.
Hey. So uncomfortable.
Now you know what it feels like?
So let me take this second.
Yeah.
If what I do to you makes you
it does
feel
sometimes.
like that,
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, I hope it's a good lesson. The massaging, the tickling on the side, that kind of stuff.
It's the same.
And it's not at the bath. Richie doesn't do that stuff in the bathroom.
No.
But sometimes he comes up and does his little tickling thing, or I don't care for it.
No.
Yeah. That's how it feels.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry.
All right.
Okay. Will you stop?
No, but
I didn't think so.
sorry.
Yes. May I help you?
Carrie Jackson and Bill Allred here to see Mr. Acme?
Carrie Jackson and Bill Allred? And this is regarding...
Well, we work for Mr. Acme, and he wanted to see us today.
I see. And you work for him in which one of his businesses?
Radio. You know, we do a morning radio show at his radio station.
Oh, yes. Mr. Acme is involved with some little broadcast facility somewhere, isn't he? Let me call him. He's having his daily rub-down right now. Mr. Acme?
What the hell do you want? You know I don't like to be disturbed when Gregor is giving me my rub-down. Ouch! Damn it! I told you that my coccyx is sore, Gregor! I'm calling the doctor. Don't rub me so hard there! Jesus. Now what the hell do you want?
I'm sorry, Mr. Acme, but there are 2 radio people out here to see you. What were your names again?
Carrie and Bill. Bill?
Is that Allred and Jackson out there? God, I forgot. It's salary time again. Okay, tell them to have a seat. We're just about finished here. Damn it, Gregor! Don't push so hard on that! Very sorry, Mr. Acme. Oh, I'm sore everywhere that my belt rubs.
Have a seat, gentlemen. Mr. Acme will be right with you.
Oh, great. Acme's got some sore muscles, and we're here to talk about raises. What great timing.
Oh, he's always in a bad mood or sore or something anyway. I don't see where one day is any better than another when it comes to talking about money. For hell's sakes, Gary. I mean, last year during our job evaluation meeting, he jumped across the restaurant table and jabbed the dinner fork into my upper thigh. I bled like a pig.
I remember. He must have stuck that thing in about 3 inches.
Yeah, thanks for closing me up. I don't know if I've ever told you enough how grateful I was.
Oh, don't worry about it. It was nothing. I was just glad I had that little staple gun in my backpack.
I'm nervous. I mean, I'm just not very good at this asking for a raise thing.
Remember, we got to be tough. We got to stand our ground. I mean, sure, we're asking for a lot, but we work hard at the radio station. I don't think that 15 every 2 weeks is too much to ask.
But Carrie, 15 every 2 weeks adds up to $30 a month. I'm telling you, it's too much. He'll never go for it.
I think you're right. We got to get out of here. Oh, okay. Here's what we do.
What?
I'll pretend that I'm sick, and then you pretend to rush me to the hospital, okay?
Okay.
Ma'am, will you tell Mr. Acme we'll be back some other time? I've got to rush my partner to the hospital. I think it's his ovaries or something. His uvula or something. You're going to be okay, partner.
Have announced a 10th anniversary reissue of the album that features that song, Spaceman.
10th anniversary reissue on vinyl.
Yeah, and they remixed it, and so
probably get that at Graywell. Let's see, we got Boner Fight coming up. Stand by for that. Dylan, what?
I have to thank Dimitra. Remember last week we talked about the fungus on my leg that's shaped in a half circle?
Yeah, that's
some kind of worm.
That's embedded in my mind forever.
You were worried that you were dying.
Fungus.
Yeah, so Dimitra brought me some Lotrimin Ultra.
Oh, that's nice of her.
And she was a pharmacist, so she knew exactly what to do. And
pharmacists always. I've found that pharmacists always know exactly what to do.
Well, they're professionals.
Yeah.
If I had a radio question, I'd ask you.
What?
I'd ask Carrie.
Better.
But I just deleted my note of what I wanted to talk about. But I was just in Vegas for my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
I turned 31, which means never trust anyone over 30. So I
don't trust you, Dylan.
Right?
Yeah.
And and I kind of thought about my trip to Vegas, and I realized, well, I was in bed by 10:30 most nights.
You weren't out partying
in Vegas?
Uh-huh.
Really?
I was up at 7 a.m. every morning.
Why?
Really?
Because, I mean, part of it is just I've been forced into becoming a morning person because of this job. 7 a.m. is now sleeping in.
Mm-hmm. But even me, after 30 years, I can sleep until 10.
Really?
Yeah.
See, that's a skill. I'm bad at sleeping. I'm not good at it. I don't. Maybe I need to practice.
Getting to sleep?
Mm-hmm. All of it.
All of it.
I wake up. I can't go back to sleep. It's a whole thing.
Do you toss and turn?
Mm-hmm. So I'd wake up at 7 in the morning, and I'd go out for walks.
In Vegas?
Uh-huh. On the Strip.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting time to be out on the Strip.
Right, because it's me and all of the little old ladies who also get up at 7, and we all go out power walking up and down the street.
You're in good company.
Mm-hmm. And I planned my next trip to Vegas, which is going to be in the spring.
I'm getting you a walker for Christmas.
I might need it. I'm taking Grandma down, and we're going to go see Donnie and Marie.
Wow. Dylan.
My 90-year-old grandma and I are going.
Yep.
We want to go.
And you'll have a ball.
We want to, yeah.
And you'll go to bingo.
Yep. Well, maybe. Yeah. We're going to see Donnie and Marie because their show's closing. Grandma's always wanted to see him.
You have the soul of a 70-year-old.
At least. At least a 70-year-old. I got home from Vegas, and I was having trouble I was having like acid reflux.
Uh-huh.
Had to take 2 Prilosec a day now.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Are there kids on your lawn that you would like them to leave?
I had to borrow my mom's wedge pillow so I could sleep upright.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm single, by the way. I just want everybody listening to be aware that,
and will perhaps remain so.
It seems to be the case, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It seems to be the case.
Yeah.
So thanks for the Lotrum and Ultra.
He likes soft food.
I do.
You are kind of a picky eater.
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just gotten worse.
So keep that Lotrum handy. Something else is going to pop up that you're going to need to rub it on.
There's going to be a new rash.
Yeah. You might get a yeast infection. It could happen.
Think?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll keep this for my yeast infection.
All right.
Thanks.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. I'm going to go waddle back in the other
Good
room.
luck.
Take a nap. I'm going to go home today when the show's over and take a nap.
Can you get just like a blanket that he can put over his shoulders?
No, I brought a shawl.
He's
It's
brought
in
a
the other
shawl?
room.
You already have a shawl.
Oh no, it's there.
Are we going to start calling you Grampy Dylan?
Gramps?
Gampy
You should have a sweater that you don't put your sleeves. You don't put your arms in the sleeves. You just clasp it around with a little chain around the neck.
And make sure you put a piece of tissue in the sleeve of your shirt.
No, better yet, handkerchief.
Oh, a handkerchief.
Go full blown.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what an elderly person does.
Yeah.
I own several handkerchiefs.
There you go.
I bought them when I went to New Orleans a couple years ago for sweat.
For sweat.
So I thought I'm going to the South.
So you
and
could
I'll
mop your brow.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord, he says.
Yeah.
As he mops his brow.
Sweet tea. I need some sweet tea, and I'll say, "Oh my Lord."
I was born too late, guys. I was born too late.
All right. Shuffle off there, Grandpa. All right, we got boner fight coming up.
He wears pajamas.
He does?
Yeah.
Oh, comfy sometimes.
He wears like button up
like
pajamas?
matching.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
Tops and bottoms match.
I think
with a
so.
little pocket.
With a pocket.
Stripes,
Stripes.
stripy pajamas.
Boy, he's Alan Arkin. All right, we'll have boner fight coming up after this. Stand by. I got to tell you about Grove.co. It is the holiday season, and with that, you get the scented, things.
I got the clove soap.
The orange clove.
Yes,
that's the one I
like
recommended.
that one.
I like that one. It is the that time of year, so get the Mrs. Meyer's exclusive offer from Grove before it runs out. Select your favorite holiday scents. There's Iowa Pine, there's Peppermint, or the one that I like, Orange Clove. New customers will get the holiday set when you place your first order of $20. So here's what you get. The free Mrs. Meyer's Holiday Hand Soap, Holiday Dish Soap, and Holiday Multi-Surface Spray. Sue likes that stuff. The Grove Collaborative Red Cleaning Caddy and Walnut Scrubber Sponges. Plus, if you spend $39, you'll also receive a free Grove stoneware tray to display your holiday soaps. So shop Grove before this exclusive holiday offer runs out. This stuff will be all gone come December. For a limited time, our listeners who sign up get an amazing free Mrs. Meyer's holiday products, a free 60-day VIP membership, and a surprise bonus gift just for you when you sign up and place an order of $20 or more. So check out the special offer at grove.co/x96. You got to do that /x96 so that you get the deal and that we get the credit. So that's grove.co, not com/x96. Join X96 for our all-day broadcast to fight hunger on Wednesday at Teleperformance in West Valley, 4650 West.
Yes. May I help you?
Carrie Jackson and Bill Allred here to see Mr. Acme?
Carrie Jackson and Bill Allred?
Uh-huh.
And this is regarding...
Well, we work for Mr. Acme, and he wanted to see us today.
I see. And you work for him in which one of his businesses?
Radio. You know, we do a morning radio show at his radio station.
Oh, yes. Mr. Acme is involved with some little broadcast facility somewhere, isn't he? Let me call him. He's having his daily rub-down right now. Mr. Acme?
What the hell do you want? You know I don't like to be disturbed when Gregor is giving me my rub-down. Ouch! Damn it! I told you that my coccyx is sore, Gregor! You told him to talk me. Don't rub me so hard there! Jesus. Now what the hell do you want?
I'm sorry, Mr. Acme, but there are 2 radio people out here to see you. What were your names again?
Carrie and Bill. Bill?
Is that Allred and Jackson out there? God, I forgot. It's salary time again. Okay, tell them to have a seat. We're just about finished here. Damn it, Gregor! Don't push so hard on that! Oh, I'm sore everywhere that my belt rubs.
Have a seat, gentlemen. Mr. Acme will be right with you.
Oh, great. Acme's got some sore muscles, and we're here to talk about raises. What great timing.
Oh, he's always in a bad mood or sore or something anyway. I don't see where one day is any better than another when it comes to talking about money. For hell's sakes, Gary. I mean, last year during our job evaluation meeting, he jumped across the restaurant table and jabbed the dinner fork into my upper thigh. I bled like a pig.
I remember. He must have stuck that thing in about 3 inches.
Yeah, thanks for closing me up. I don't know if I've ever told you enough how grateful I was.
Oh, don't worry about it. It was nothing. I was just glad I had that little staple gun in my backpack.
I'm nervous. I mean, I'm just not very good at this asking for a raise thing.
Remember, we got to be tough. We got to stand our ground. I mean, sure, we're asking for a lot, but we work hard at the radio station. I don't think that 15 every 2 weeks is too much to ask.
But Carrie, 15 every 2 weeks adds up to $30 a month. I'm telling you, it's too much. He'll never go for it.
I think you're right. We got to get out of here. Oh, okay. Here's what we do.
What?
I'll pretend that I'm sick, and then you pretend to rush me to the hospital, okay?
Okay. Ma'am, will you tell Mr. Acme we'll be back some other time? I've got to rush my partner to the hospital. I think it's his ovaries or something. His uvula or something. You're going to be okay, partner.
Be a part of the Radio from Hell show on X96. Call 877-602-9696 or text us at 33986. Message and data rates apply.
Now remember that. You're going to need it to vote for Boner of the Day coming up in about 5.5 minutes or so. So before that, a reasonable amount of news brought to you by...
Don't miss the huge Big O Black Friday savings going on through the 26th. Save up to $150 off a set of Big O brand tires or buy 3, get 1 free on select tires. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Well, scientists have been given the green light to resurrect the dead.
Which dead can we pick?
Stem cell research is something that's we should have stopped studying for the past 20 years.
Why?
However, was ethical controversy.
It might make people that can't walk again.
Over
That's
the topic that caused a bump in the road. There's no doubting that the ethical questioning of stem cell research caused a tremendous halt in the research. However, those days are now in the past. Scientists at a biotech company based in the United States have been granted ethical permission to begin the research to attempt to stimulate and regrow neurons by manipulating stem cells. The research study... Exactly. The research study will be performed on 20 brain-dead patients. I can name a couple of candidates.
What?
You are number one.
All right.
Yeah. The technique is new and untested, so it'll be likely bring about controversy as usual. They'll perform the procedure by implanting stem cells in the patient's brain. They will additionally be treating the patient's spinal cord with infusions of chemicals to nerve stimulant techniques. They'll be using 2 techniques, both of which have successfully brought people out of a coma.
That's cool.
So they'll bring the dead back to life.
Well, that's not always a bad thing.
To undertake such a... It's Pet Cemetery.
Sometimes dead is better. You know that.
It sounds incredible, but it appeared to be human.
To undertake such a complex initiative, they're combining biological regenerative medicine tools with other existing medical devices typically used for stimulation of central nervous system in patients with other severe disorders of consciousness. They hope to see results within the first 3 months. It is a long-term vision that a full recovery in such patients, dead ones.
It's wrong.
That's possible that they will...
What?
Bring people back from the dead.
Well,
it's wrong. It's
I don't.
wrong.
How about this?
What?
Visitors in a famed Chicago skyscraper, the Hancock Center.
Yeah, I heard about this.
In an elevator dropped 84 floors.
Ooh.
But survived when the elevator manufactured in the world's 16th tallest building. A mechanical problem caused half a dozen passengers to drop nearly 1,500 feet above the Miracle Mile from the 95th level cocktail lounge, to the building's 11th floor.
So what should you do?
Rescuers spent almost I don't think you can do anything.
Yeah, what do you?
That's what do you sit on the floor? Do you try to?
It's in an instant it happens.
Yeah.
Rescuers spent almost 3 hours rescuing the terrified passengers. Firefighters hammered through a concrete wall to get to the stranded visitors. At the beginning, I thought I was going to die, Mexican tourist Jaime Montemayor said. We were going down, and then I felt that we were falling, and then I heard a noise, clack, 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 a broken hoist rope, reportedly to blame for the unexpected plummet. A series of backup ropes brought the elevator to a stop, preventing serious injuries or worse. Nobody had to be hospitalized. Passengers needing to get to the top of the skyscraper used freight elevators until maintenance workers had a chance to look over the lifts after Friday's mishap.
Now, it was the Sears Tower, right?
No.
Or is it's a different tower in Chicago?
No, it's
the Hancock Tower.
Hancock Tower.
Oh, okay. All right.
The skyscraper was built as the John Hancock Center in 1969.
And when they send you up to those like observation decks and everything, they cram so many people in there.
Yeah, I don't do it.
Yeah.
If I don't have business to attend to at the top, I'm not going up just to go.
They had business to attend to. They had to go to the cocktail lounge.
That's right. It's a very good cocktail lounge.
Yeah, but
there are cocktail lounges on the ground.
Apparently, San Antonio listener Raul Montemayor.
Yeah.
His sister was in this.
Yeah, I just think I just caught.
Well, Ed just texted me, so
that I just quoted a Montemayor.
yeah, that's one
Jamie.
of our listeners' sisters.
I thought it was just Jamie Montemayor. Yeah, Mexican tourist Jamie Montemayor. There you go. The staff at a city bar in Edinburgh have expressed their relief after their prize portrait of Christopher Walken was taken in a heist. After reviewing CCTV tapes, bar staff were sure that the culprits from the previous evening must have eyed the artwork at the brooding 75-year-old true romance star.
You can see at x96.com/live what the painting looks like.
That's a good painting.
It's like imagine it's like Napoleon or something, but it's Christopher Walken.
Before the audacious theft, on Sunday night, it was revealed that the beloved painting had been returned to its rightful owner. The forgiving post on the Hermitage Facebook said, "The picture has been returned and is back on the wall. Mistakes were made, but in this instance, all is good as we got our beloved Christopher back. Thank you all for getting involved." Manager Rebecca Short issued an appeal on Saturday asking for the painting back, no questions asked. It was the only thing stolen.
A fraternity prank or something?
Probably a drunken dare.
Well, this was in Scotland, so I don't think it was a fraternity prank. We had HD CCTV footage of 3 couples coming into the bar, stealing our canvas of Christopher Walken. In the footage, it shows who you are, and 2 of you were in on Friday night having dinner at a high-top table, and I spoke with you. I am giving you the opportunity to return the picture. You have until Wednesday morning before I involve the police.
Yeah, it was a drunken dare. Yeah.
It's Boner Fight. With Radio from Hell on X96.
You're just lucky, Gina, we don't have time to get to the story of a deer tested positive for brain-wasting disease.
Great,
That's zombie deer.
Yeah. All right. The winner from round 1. Back in the 7 o'clock hour, clawing its way through the mists of time to present itself to you now. Ease up. Haven't you forgotten to lock up the Rolls Royce from time to time? This was the story of Hassan Whiteside, a basketball player for the Miami Heat, who purchased a $50,000 assault rifle and then left it in his unlocked Rolls Royce. It was stolen. The weapon was later recovered in a stolen car, and he got it back, but I left the Rolls Royce unlocked and somebody took it. Took the gun. Going up against the winner from round 2, another genius, a juvenile who robbed a convenience store with a handgun and then walked to his home through the snow. And the police were very easily able to track him through the snow to his house, where they arrested him. That's boner candidate number 2.
All right. You've got to decide of these 2 candidates, which one should be boner of the day. Candidate 1 or candidate 2. Remember the number of the candidate that you think should win. Put that number in the message of a text. Then text that to 33986. That's all we need in the message of the text. It's just that single digit. And the computer can count it and get it to us right away. 877-602-9696 is the phone number. You can use your voice to vote. Or go to x96.com. Look for the box that says Boner Fight November 19 and vote there. If you don't see that box, refresh. It should appear. All right. You've got 300 seconds. Let's go. This is Boner of the Day.
John Smith kicks off your workday with a 1-hour nonstop music wingding right after Radio from Hell on X96.
Now, I got this email from Marianne Daly, and it says, "Hi, Bill, longtime friend of the program. Listen and love the show. Nothing makes me my morning better. I work from home, so I always have the radio on, and more often than not, find myself laughing really hard out loud, of course. I identify with you most of the time of the 3. So it says, anyway, Marianne goes on to say, I'm writing lately due to the interns. I really enjoyed the interview you did with Matt. What a smart, charming, and funny man.
I didn't know I was on the webcam.
She didn't say anything about the way you looked at
okay.
this point. Smart, charming, and funny. Shows real interest in radio. He's one to keep around.
Really?
Keeper.
Oh, and he brought you Patron Silver. He rocks. He also has that radio voice. Forget that Guthrie guy. Oh no, it says Gumthrie.
Gunthrie?
Yeah,
Gunthrie.
forget Gumthrie.
That's Guthrie's evil twin.
Sorry, he just didn't do anything for me. And try to work it out so that Matt has some more radio time.
Ooh.
That would be sweet.
Matt, you are so cute.
Oh, I know.
And funny.
Thank you, Carrie.
Thanks, Marianne.
Wow.
Now, I just wonder if this would change Marianne's opinion at all. This is an email that I got from Matt.
From this man?
Yeah.
Wait, which? Oh, was this the one I sent on Monday?
I suppose so.
When you weren't here.
Today, says Matt. It says subject. Hello, my name is Matt Timian, and I know how to offend the CEO of Simmons like no other. Today I wore a T-shirt that says Godweiser on the front and This Blood's for You on the back. Of course, it's a parody shirt.
Of course.
Oh, really?
No.
And it was meant to be serious and worn by Christians. I often find gems like these and wear them as a parody of a parody. Witty and original, I know. Anyway, the CEO of Simmons, I suppose he means Craig Hansen?
Yes,
it was Craig.
Craig was walking by me in the hallway with another gentleman in a suit, and after walking past me, they both stopped, turned around, and looked at my shirt. I pretended not to notice.
Looked at the ceiling.
I then heard them say, "We have some really interesting people working here." They continued to mumble about how interesting I am and then walked up the stairs.
You're making it sound a lot more positive than it really was.
Yes, I'm not taking it as positive at all. Yes, I know how to make an impression. Now I'm certain to get a job. Matt Timian. So, Marianne, there's just more evidence.
It's probably making her more hot for him.
Probably is.
Well,
here's Marianne's email, Matt, if you'd like to
thank you.
contact her.
That would be great.
Maybe she could help you with the crock pots and the little smokies.
Appreciate you.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Matt Timian, our intern.
Him and Marianne.
Matt and Marianne.
How nice.
I don't know. He's 2 divorces down already. I don't.
Well, if I could counsel Matt on anything, I'd just say don't do it again. Don't get married again.
Date all you want.
Date all you want. Have a girlfriend, but don't marry again.
I don't trust Matt as far as I can throw him.
Really?
I think you should try to throw him.
I can't throw him. I can throw him an inch. That's how much I trust him.
Oh, I'm sure you can do more than an inch.
2 inches, maybe. I just can't. I'm kind of weak. You should know that about me. I'm weak.
I just thought you meant more.
Our food drive out at Teleperformance.
That's happening on Wednesday.
Yeah, we want to thank our friends at Teleperformance for partnering with us again for our annual food drive with the Utah Food Bank. Join us in the fight against hunger Wednesday at the Teleperformance 4650 West, 1991 South. We'll be broadcasting all day and accepting donations. You know, hunger is a very serious problem everywhere, but in Utah, 1 in 6 Utah kids will miss a meal today due to a lack of resources. 392,000 Utahns are unsure of where their next meal will come from. Donate non-perishable foods high in protein at Teleperformance locations. You can go to West Valley where we are. We'll be broadcasting Wednesday morning at 6.
Yeah, but they'll be accepting them at all their locations.
Yeah, West Valley, Sandy, Ogden. All donations will go to the Utah Food Bank. The Utah Food Bank turns $1 donation to $7.81 worth of goods and services. You can visit x96.com to donate in cash.
That's the best way, really.
And also, you know that your name will be entered in a drawing to win a Traeger grill, whether you donate online in cash or bring stuff to us out at the West Valley location of Teleperformance, 4650 West, 1991 South, Wednesday, sponsored by Teleperformance. Start your new career today at teleperformance.com.
All right, boner of the day brought to you in total by
Teleperformance and whatever you eat.
And by Teleperformance and a spatchcock chicken with some yams, and I made some cream spinach, which turned out awful. So we ate a little bit of it and threw it away, which I feel terrible saying because of the food drive, but it was terrible. So we had boner candidate number 1, ease up. Haven't you forgotten to lock up the Rolls Royce from time to time? This stupid basketball player who bought how much was it? A $50,000 assault rifle, and then put it in his Rolls Royce and didn't lock the car, and it got stolen. The gun did. Going against boner candidate number 2, how'd you find me? This kid who robbed a convenience store with a handgun, and then he walked from the convenience store to his apartment or home or wherever, and was sitting watching TV, and the cops show up, and he said, how'd you find me? Well, we followed your tracks in the snow, dumb. That dumbass is the one who won.
He did.
Number 2.
Yeah. I thought for sure number 1 was going to take it.
I did too, but no, he won.
Well, that's your boner of the day for November 19th, 2018. All right. And we're not doing boner of the week this week, so it's not
a short week.
It's not eligible.
Yeah. Now we have guests in the studio. We have with us Michelle Hodges and Patrick Kennedy, and they are here because they're doing a very good thing. They have put together something called the Megan Joy Project, and thank you both for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
It's our pleasure. Why don't you just go ahead and tell us, who wants to start first, what the Megan Joy Project is?
Well, we lost Megan on the, the 27th of September. About 2 days after that, I reached out to Patrick and I said, let's show what we're all feeling.
Megan,
this happened just recently.
Yeah.
This is a young woman named Megan Joy Ballou,
Yep.
a friend of yours.
Mm-hmm.
You lost her by meaning to suicide.
Correct. Yes.
So what have you done? You put this together. What is it exactly?
Well, we started filming a documentary about 2 days after, I would say. It was pretty quick.
Happened fast.
So we started doing that kind of shows and highlights the aftermath of grief and what the families, friends, loved ones go through after someone takes their life. We kind of have started a little Facebook community also that is just a support system for people, families, anything that's grown quite a bit.
That's amazing that you put that together that fast, but you were capturing the grief while it's happening. You weren't like revisiting it.
Yeah.
You were. I mean, that's really.
Started filming like at the memorial and just showcasing all of the process.
That seems almost kind of ghoulish that you would do that, and yet to capture it, you have to do it.
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah. I don't really know. I kind of feel like it was her being like, "Here you go,
here's
have
a project
fun
for you."
But I mean, it's been healing and also taxing. But
her family is involved as well.
Yes. Correct. Yes, they have been extremely supportive.
We're talking to Michelle Hodges and Patrick Kennedy. There's a Facebook group called We Are Here, the Megan Joy Project, and also Instagram, the Megan Joy Project. And now you're going to show this documentary
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
This
Yeah.
Wednesday at 7 p.m. at Metro Music.
Boy, this is fast.
Wow. I know.
Tell me about it.
So Metro Music Hall, which is where, you guys?
615 West and 100 South in Salt Lake City. It is $5 at the door. However, all of those proceeds go to suicide prevention and rape recovery,
Oh, nice.
recovery charities.
Yep, we'll have lots of stuff. We'll have T-shirts, Mama Africa Grill. We will show that, do a little Q&A with some mental health specialists, and then we'll do a celebration. Yeah, silent auction. We have thousands of dollars of stuff for that, and all proceeds will be donated.
You guys are like exceptionally motivated, it seems to me.
Try to be.
Are you this way with everything?
For the most
Depends.
part, yeah.
Nice.
Depends on the day. But yeah.
It's called the We Are Here, the Meg and Joy Project. It's the documentary it's now 7 to 8 p.m. press, food, and cocktails, and then the documentary is it how long is it?
We're gonna cap it about a half
30
hour.
minutes. I think it'll end at. We're at like
You're
20
still
something
editing
right
it
now. Yeah, trying to finalize by tomorrow.
Who has filmmaking experience?
Neither of us.
Yeah, a little bit in television, but not film really.
We found a good team that was willing to donate their time. We have some great people on board with us. We've been working closely with Danny Drysdale, who does all the Killers music videos and stuff like that. Who found us
We've been
and
connected to some really great people in a short amount of time.
So
thank you.
We're lucky.
Excellent. So this is this Wednesday, and it's the Meg and Joy Project. We Are Here.
So they have a Facebook group, We Are Here, the Meg and Joy Project.
Correct.
And then Instagram, the Meg and Joy Project. You can find out more about it. And fundraising, the proceeds will go to help her family as well?
No, we're actually just going to donate it all. Their family actually donated quite a bit for us to even do this.
It'll all be suicide prevention and rape recovery
And that's
charities
it,
for this particular event.
And there's a GoFundMe.
Yes.
Right?
Yep, and that will all go as well. So we've raised that money. That money will go to whatever we raise on Wednesday.
All
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
It's a good thing you're doing, and you're highly motivated.
Yeah.
I guess.
Congratulations.
All right. Nice to meet you. Bye.
Nice to
Thank
meet
you very much.
Thank
All right, we'll take a break. We'll be back. Got to tell you about my Brooklinen sheets again. I know. They're wonderful, though.
All right, I will order some.
I would. You know what I would do is order some for Mary Claire.
That's a perfect Christmas gift.
Yes.
Okay.
And have it sent to her house. You don't have to worry about
Okay.
it. They are just terrific. They were founded in 2014 by a husband and wife team, Vicki and Rich, and they just wanted to make 5-star quality hotel sheets more affordable and easy to order. They were the first DTC bedding company. They work directly with the manufacturers and directly with the customers, so there's no middleman. Go to their website, see how their sheets are made. There is a difference. My Brooklinen sheets are the best, most comfortable sheets that I've slept on. I couldn't recommend them more if you're looking to treat yourself for a loved one to bedding upgrade this holiday season. Brooklinen.com has an exclusive holiday event happening this week only. Get up to 20% off site-wide when you shop at brooklinen.com this week only. The biggest Brooklinen sale of the year. They are so confident in their product that all their sheets and comforters and towels come with a lifetime warranty. But the only way to get a 20% off site-wide is to go to brooklinen.com this week only. That's BROOKLINEN.com. These really are the best sheets ever.
X96 is the home of the 1-hour nonstop music wingding.
Now, did you find the Mitt Romney?
I did find the Mitt Romney.
All right, let me just read to you briefly where he did this. It was during a surprise appearance at a dinner this week.
Did he pop out of a cake?
For Washington, D.C. radio and television reporters, his top 10 list of reasons why he dropped out of the race for the White House earlier this year.
Oh, now I found the David Letterman. Is this a different thing that
Well,
you're
it says
talking
Romney.
about?
It says here Romney offered the David Letterman-style list, written with the help of several campaign advisors, at the Radio and Television Correspondents Annual Awards dinner Wednesday night. A video of the appearance is available on YouTube.
Now, see, I've got the David Letterman. I don't know if this is the same thing.
Why don't you do it, and I'll see if that's
I also
the same
have
thing.
The other one, too. So
Top 10 reasons Mitt Romney dropped out of the presidential race. Well, here you have it. As topical as though torn from today's headlines. Exactly right. Top 10 reasons Mitt Romney dropped out of the presidential race. Here we go, number 10. Harsh Midwest weather was murder on his split ends. Number 9.
Is that?
This is not the Mitt Romney one. This is Letterman's, but let's see which one is funnier.
Okay.
Wants to devote more time to his rap persona, P. Mitty. P. Mitty. Number 8. Polls show public doesn't want a president who looks like a casino greeter.
That's good.
That's good.
Number 7, just couldn't compete with the Ron Paul juggernaut. Number 6.
That's funny.
Unveiling a new line of honey-roasted rom nuts. What? What? What?
Honey roasted rom
Honey-roasted rom nuts. I don't know what's the matter with the guy. Number 5, that bastard Zogby had it in for him. Number 4, apparently America's not ready for a white male president. Number 3.
That's good. That's a good one.
Number 3. No, number 3, writer suffering from mitt withdrawal. Number 2, there was that little problem of nobody voting for him. And the number 1 reason Mitt Romney dropped out of the presidential race, lost all of his money betting on the Patriots.
There you go.
On Utah's original alternative X96.
All right, 9:50 right now.
Happy birthday, John.
Thanks, kids.
How old are you? Can we ask that?
That's not polite.
A gentleman never tells. I am 40.
Oh, this is a big one.
This
for
is
you.
my 40th birthday.
You going through any existential stuff?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Physically, I turned 40
Yeah.
11 years ago. So.
I went through my existential stuff the other day, and I sorted it all out, and I have mismatched ones, and I don't know. I got to clean it all out.
Your Fabergé existentials?
Yeah.
All right, what are you doing for your birthday?
I'm gonna sit home.
You're not gonna go out to dinner? You're not gonna.
We might go to the Cheesecake Factory.
Wow.
That's highfalutin stuff.
What would you do there? What would you have there? Cheesecake?
I like their pork chops, and I like their hamburgers.
Now, do they still do? So you go to the Cheesecake Factory and you order pork chops, and they bring you like 2 pork chops that are like the size of.
Yeah, huge portions.
Like a size of a baby.
And the mashed potatoes.
And they'll bring you like a half gallon of mashed potatoes.
Yep. They feed you well at the Cheesecake Factory.
Well, people always take food home or they throw it away or something.
Nope. I eat it all there.
Really?
Yep, that's right.
It's your birthday.
I go all in.
That's something that I've developed. I always take home leftovers. I never.
Is that because you're not hungry, or you want the leftovers?
I get full. I get full pretty quick and easy.
I put a lot of food in my hollow leg.
I'll take the cheesecake home, but not the actual food. I don't think I ever take food home from a restaurant.
I usually try to take a hungry dog with me that I keep under the table.
Service animal.
I always wind up taking food home from a restaurant.
And then does it sit in your fridge, or do you eat it?
No,
eat
you
it the next day.
Yeah.
It's never as good the next day.
Well,
Some
sometimes
things
it
are.
is.
Some things are.
Really?
Sometimes it's better. It's had a chance to mellow. And
Here's a little
mull.
tip for you. When you get pizza delivery, and you always have pizza left over,
right?
And you heat it up the next day in the microwave, don't do that.
Yeah, I just leave it.
No.
Eat it cold.
Heat it up in a frying pan.
Whoa.
Crisp up the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
It's like new.
It's a revelation.
Change
isn't
your
it?
life.
I'd rather eat it cold than microwave it.
No.
No, it just makes it all leathery when you microwave
Yeah,
it.
it's kind of that. But you do frying pan. Get that crispy bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can't wait to try
It
that.
it takes a while because you want to go on a lower heat because you don't want to burn it.
There was a kid in my high school we called Old Crispy Bottom.
Old Crispy Bottom.
Yeah.
All right, that's enough.
That's enough of that.
That's enough. Let's see. Should we do the promo?
I got it right here.
Okay.
Me too.
On Tuesday's Radio from Hell show.
At 7:45, our friend Sean Means from the Salt Lake Tribune will be in to talk about holiday movies.
Now, not just holiday-specific movies. That's all the big movies that could come out between now and Christmas.
We'll do other stuff, too. Listen to Radio from Hell tomorrow on X96. It'll be our last show in studio for the week.
Jeff has a tip. When you heat up leftover Asian food, add peanut butter. Add peanut butter.
Because it needs a little moisture.
A little moisture in there, but it'll also help with the flavor.
A little bit of
my wife just sent me a text reminding me that she makes my pizza. So that's.
Oh, and if you have an air fryer, apparently that's good for leftover pizza too.
Ooh.
Let's try that today, Sue.
Maybe I'll get an air fryer.
What is that?
I was looking them up.
It is the best tater tot machine that you will buy.
Is that the only thing you do in it is tater tots?
It's the best thing to do. No. We did fried chicken in it.
That's right.
Yeah.
You can fry with no oil or just very
It's just
little?
hot air.
Just no oil at all, right?
It's just hot air.
You can do fried chicken with hot air.
What is this?
Yeah.
It's magic.
The only complaint I have about the air fryer is that the place where you put the food is kind of small.
Yeah.
So you can only do a little at a
So
time.
you can only do a couple of pieces of chicken at a time.
I'm out.
No, so if you're Dylan, if you're single, it'd be perfect.
Oh, okay.
All right. Yeah, I got to try the pizza on that.
Dylan can't eat fried chicken. He can only eat soft food.
I get the 12-piece family meal at the Popeyes, and I'll just eat it all.
That's all going to catch up with you at some point.
I'm 40. I made it this far.
Your heart. If your doctor were to look at your heart, it's probably encased in something the consistency of Crisco.
What do you have today for us?
I'm sure I have something.
You haven't even tried.
I'm sure there's something in there.
Well, we didn't have anything to give away, so you probably don't.
It's that time of year.
Week.
Everybody's thinking about donating to the food bank with Teleperformance.
Yeah.
All the information you need is at x96.com.
I'm going to go to Costco today and buy a bunch of stuff.
Don't tweet and ask me about it. Don't email and ask me about it. It's at x96.com.
You could text 33986 because I get lonely.
Okay.
I'm in here by myself.
All right. Anything else we need to take care of?
I think that's good.
We got it all?
Yep.
Live long and prosper, bitches.
Don't you know who I am?
You should have gonna.
John Smith is next.
Please keep listening.
Kicking off nothing but great tunes for 60 minutes. A 1 hour nonstop music wingding is on X96.